Here it is.
Hey, it's Dr. Galvin with another COVID update. Today's update is, I've had, as often occurs, videos will show up, they'll go viral, and people will then start sending them to me and asking me my opinion. And today we're going to talk about this video from a school board meeting in Indiana. This Dr. Dan Stock, who's a family medicine doctor, who came up and said a bunch of stuff, and people are kind of sending me this video. And again, as usual, there's truth and fallacies, and let's go through some of what he claims. First of all, I think he kind of overrepresents his credentials a little bit. He's a family medicine doctor. He did a 3-year family medicine residency. It sounds like he's done some additional functional medicine training, but he's not trained in immunology or virology. He sort of implies that he has all this experience and training that he probably doesn't have, but that's neither here nor there. I want to go through some of the claims and let's talk about them. The first one was about masks, and his point is that the virus particles are too small to are so small that they can penetrate the pores of masks. And he's absolutely, it's absolutely correct. It's absolutely incorrect what he's saying, because we don't expel virus particles. We expel water droplets that are filled with millions of virus particles. And those water droplets are big enough to be filtered by masks. Now, the amount of virus in those particles really relates to how well they work. And I'm going to link to a number of papers that prove this point, including a retrospective
Got a doctorate in lies, brother.
Paper that looked at
a doctorate in fucking lies, okay?
14 or so different mass-based studies, all showing benefit. And the fact is, the more virus you have in the particles that are aerosolized, the more likely it's going to be contagious. So the Delta variant, very, very...
It's such a weird American thing for a guest to just go away and open your door to leave. What do you want me to do, bro? Fucking give him hugs and kisses? Like, I'm still fucking streaming, dog.
Contagious. Surgical masks, probably not so good. I've been recommending N95.
You want me to do what my grandmother does and like get a glass of water to like throw behind him? So, you go, you flow easily through your travels like water, and then you come back just as quickly like water. That's what my grandparents do. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Instead, I'm going to fucking run an ad at the top of the hour. How about that? You like that? That's right. The top of the hour ad break is coming. True. And if you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can do it for free with a fucking Twitch Prime, dude. Okay? You can also use an ad block or a VPN. These are things that you can do. Use an ad block or VPN. But Twitch Prime is free. So here's the ad break now. This is a good video to watch, I feel like, because like it just this is like a video that's like spreading around like wildfire or a viral disease.
Masks for people, or KN95 masks for people, going way back to when we had the Alpha variant, the British one. But what he's saying is that we don't expel individual virus particles. They are too small. What we expel are these droplets of water.
How come you said the vaccine is to minimize the long-term COVID effects? I thought the vaccine was supposed to make you immune. That's why I took the vaccine. So I become immune. Oh, man. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry that you're a fucking idiot and you didn't understand what the vaccine is supposed to do. So I guess people lied to you, okay? Also, viruses fucking mutate. Are you familiar with this concept? It's a thing that happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, there is something you can do about it. Reach herd immunity.
Water vapor, and you can Google sneeze.
26 months sub, 26 months since having sex. I'm sorry to hear that. Welcome to the team.
There's a video of a guy sneezing. You can see that he's not sneezing out virus particles. He's sneezing out a ton of water droplets. They are very filterable by masks. We've been wearing masks in the emergency department since this began, with almost no cases at all among staff, and that's all we've got. We got masks, gloves, a little bit of, we can't social distance, we can't do any of the other stuff, and massive.
Definition of a vaccine: a substance used to stimulate the production of antibodies and provide immunity against one or several diseases, prepare from the causative agent of a disease. its products are a synthetic substitute treated as to act as an antigen without inducing the disease. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. Did you just fucking Webster's dictionary me because you think that's a fucking own? You understand that not all fucking vaccines provide full immunity, okay? They provide immunity. That doesn't mean full-blown immunity. It's entirely dependent on what you are immune to.
26 months sub 26 months since having sex. I wasn't subbed, I'm just dumb.
Motherfuckers be like, I got the vaccine and then I got in a car crash and almost died. What's up with that? Like,
Bye-bye,
I don't get it. Can you explain this to me? This is kind of bullshit, dude. It says immunity in the fucking dictionary definition, dude. So that means I'm literally a god now. I'm literally a god.
Protected all of us very, very well. Secondly, he implies that the vaccination protocol is there to make the virus go away. That's never been the goal at all. You can't make a virus go away by vaccinating it. We've said from the beginning that this is not a sterilizing vaccine. This
is a better video rebuttal.
Yes.
All right, guys, I'm making a video I just don't even want to make, but
He's bald. I can't trust him.
So many people have said,
never trust the bald. He doesn't even have the vaccine, the secret vaccine that all doctors have against baldness. Isn't your dad bald? Yes.
4 months.
Sent me this video about this Mount Vernon school board meeting, and a doctor who goes up there and bravely tells them what's true about vaccines and CDC and starting school and all that. All right, let's just go through some of the claims and who this guy is quickly so that we can be done with this and no one needs to send me this video again. All right. This guy, Dr. Dan Stock, he's a family medicine doc, Indianapolis or Indiana somewhere, runs a concierge / direct primary care practice, which I think is awesome. Lifestyle medicine, which is can be really awesome, but also is a space full of kind of weird, unproven stuff and quackery, but it can also be awesome, right? So this is kind of where this guy's coming from. Goes to the school board meeting and basically tells them what's up. And let's just go through his claims and look at each one. All right, so viral particles, these viral particles for the SARS-CoV-2 are so small they go through all masks. Well, that's just simply not quite right, because there is a mask called an N95 that does block the vast majority of viral particles. So
full immunity is actually called sterilized immunity, and only like 2 vaccines provide that. It's more dependent on if that virus is possible due to the nature of the virus being targeted rather than the vaccine itself. I think the guy in that other video was about to say this. Yeah, you reach immunity or you eliminate a fucking vaccine, which never is like fully eliminated and can come back. Measles outbreaks occurred in 2015 at the peak of like the anti-vaxxer movement in localized communities because people were like fucking anti-vaxxers in those communities. You delete a virus, I guess, functionally, even though you're not fully eliminating it, by reaching herd immunity so that enough people in a fucking population are at least resistant, okay, to the virus, so that you know there is no carrier, there's no host for the virus itself.
I guess he's talking about masks and kids. I'm also quite ambivalent about masks and kids, so I get it, but let's not start with like a blatant...
Did you ever imagine in your career that you would be debating anti-vaxxers? No. I did not think that I would ever get to a point where like, I mean, it's kind of like flat earthers. Like I never thought that we would have to debate flat earthers, right? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we will have to fucking debate flat earthers as well. Because it's just like people are really fucking stupid.
Untruth that the particles go through the masks. All right. The masks probably lower overall viral inoculum. They probably prevent a kid from blowing snot on another kid. But we don't really know how they work in kids because kids are weird, right? When the thing gets soaked with mucus all day, it's full of boogers. We don't know how effective it is in practice. And the data has not been that compelling to me. But whatever, it's probably not a high-risk intervention unless you worry about language development and socialization and things like that. And also just stigmatizing children and making them feel like they're a pestilence. But okay, fine. That's
They are, though.
his first claim. The second one is no one can make this virus go away because it has animal reservoirs. It's a respiratory virus. It's not so pathogenic that it kills its host right away. I agree with that. You are
Told you. That's true. I told you. That was right. He did say a correct thing there. Remember how I stopped and I said, that's not wrong. He's right about that.
going to be living with SARS-CoV-2 forever. Anybody who thinks we can eradicate this virus, Brett Weinstein, who says we can drive it to extinction, you can't. You can't. It's going to be with us forever, but it's going to evolve into a less pathogenic form, meaning probably like a common cold, which is also a lot of coronaviruses, right? So this is probably the natural course of it. You're not going to stamp it out. And anybody who thinks you can is not right. So I agree with him there. So then he says vaccination changes none of this. Basically, and he says, and it's clear that he's against coronavirus vaccination. And this is where I really take issue with him because he's just wrong. So, and there's a lot of misinformation here. So he says, why are we having a outbreak of coronavirus in the middle of the summer when it's a respiratory virus? It shouldn't be doing that. And then he says, it's because of the vaccinations. Let's unpack all of this.
Psychotic.
He is citing something called antibody-mediated enhancement or antibody-dependent viral enhancement, which I've done shows on. What it means is, and we've seen it with attempts at an RSV, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine back in the day, where what you do is you end up making antibodies that are triggered by the vaccine to parts of the virus that don't neutralize the virus, but instead cause the immune system to take up the virus into its own cells, kind of like a Trojan horse thing, without destroying or inactivating the virus. And that actually makes the infection worse, hence the antibody-dependent enhancement of infection. And we've seen it with RSV. Now, he goes on to say, well, you know, with the SARS-CoV-2 and in animal trials, that's what we saw. It's like, nope, we didn't. Next, the point with antibody-dependent enhancement is that vaccinated people would then get more sick than unvaccinated people. They would have
literally the easiest, immediately debunkable nonsense. Like, you can only believe that fucking fake news bullshit if your information faucet is exclusively pumping you misinformation and you can't even on accident arrive at the truth. Like, look at CDC numbers, you know what I mean? Or look at, like, even accidentally look at, like, the correct numbers of, like, hospitalizations, which is fucking insane because, unfortunately, with the way that the social media has, like, segmented different corridors on the internet, like, you literally can completely go about your daily life and avoid a single fucking... What is going on? I'm getting dono on my chat. Anyway, you can go about your day and never arrive at like a single factually correct information, like single piece of factually correct information about like the efficacy of the or something that proves the efficacy of the fucking the vaccines.
Enhanced disease. Well, what we see in this outbreak in the summer is the opposite.
PogU.
It is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. So unvaccinated people are the ones filling up hospitals, right? Vaccinated, a very tiny proportion of that. And he says, well, this shouldn't be happening in the summer, except it did last summer too, particularly in the warmer southern states and southwestern states where the summer is like the winter in that you go indoors because of air conditioning, because it's so hot outside. And that promotes the spread of the virus. So it happened last year before vaccinations. So that whole argument is nonsense. There's no evidence of antibody-dependent enhancement with our current vaccines. In fact, the opposite. There is less disease, less severe disease, less symptomatic disease, and actually probably less infection as well, which we should talk about. So this is just complete nonsense. And then he says vaccines never prevent infection.
Thank you, Alex Caruso,
Ever.
for the 5 gifted subs.
Which is a pretty strong phrase. But you don't get symptomatic. So you may not get symptomatic, so they'll prevent severe disease. Yeah, that's what you want. So I agree with him there. Yeah. Oh, you want to prevent symptomatic.
Oh my God! This literally has 3,000 dislikes. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with your first statement. I do dirt and asphalt work for a living. The N95 masks have been issued to us to help with lime and soil cement being cut into the ground for soil stabilizing. At the end of the day, when we take the mask out, the lime and soil cement is still under the mask and in our noses. It blocks a lot of the large particles, but the small stuff gets through. So if particles large enough to see can make it through the mask, tell me how it stops a molecule. I'll wait. I don't know how to wear my mask right. Okay, it's not properly fitted to my face, so particles are getting through, which means that they don't work, which means the mask don't work. Yeah, N95s are fitted. That Dan guy is literally the same as the IDW folks, has just a brigade of followers that trash videos against them. Oh, this guy? The Z-Dog MD? Or Dan Stock? Like that guy, that Dr. Dan Stock that he's like shitting on.
Has silly, 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 has silly.
Because this guy is pretty smart. No, the top commenter, Dan B.
And severe disease, except with these vaccines, it's clear that you actually have about at least in Santa Clara data, about a 4-fold reduction in test positivity. So it seems to actually prevent infection. Okay, so that's a big deal, especially when he's saying the opposite. And then he says you're going to be chasing your tail, if you expect your infection positivity testing to be 0 in schools. I agree. Don't even test them. That's what I think. These kids are generally low risk, generally, not always, but generally low risk. Why would you be testing them every week or whatever certain crazy policies are?
I don't know. There's motherfuckers across the kid that aren't low risk. And also, that's just for now, but like, there's fucking kids that are people sitting in the classroom. There are people cleaning up the school. There are principals. There's so many people that are not low risk around the kids.
And then mandating vaccinations for kids, assuming they could even be vaccinated. If they're 12 and below, they can't be yet. Also seems unnecessary to me. So in that sense, I agree with him, absolutely. And I like the fact that he stands up in front of the board and he's like, I will testify for you. I mean, I like his passion. I like this guy's passion. He's just wrong about some things here. So this is where it gets.
What the fuck? Bro, that guy's a fucking complete quack, dude. Oh my God, what the fuck is this? The other dude is a complete quack. Don't say you like his fucking passion, dude. He sucks.
The twist happens. Okay, so he says, why would we even want to vaccinate?
Dude, when you're on YouTube, there's like something that happens to your brain where you literally have to always like try to appeal to the other side's audience. Because you're like constantly trying to grow, right? You're constantly trying to grow. This is what he's doing that like other people say I do all the time when I fucking yell at other Twitch streamers, but like not enough in the way that like you guys want me to yell. You know what I mean? Like, he knows that his audience is always going to be fucking right-wing adjacent because of how YouTube is. Same with Twitch. Like, you thinking you're a WebMD doctor on Twitch. I've literally... Wait, what? I don't know anything, dude. I don't know anything. I'm a fucking dumbass, which is why I always listen to the fucking foremost authorities on this shit. I'm just trying to give you the best possible information and correct the misinformation.
When we have treatments for SARS-CoV-2, this is where it gets ugly. Ivermectin, vitamin D, zinc. Okay.
Get your shots.
Then he goes on to say, I've treated 15 patients. And guess what? None of them got hospitalized because I did this stuff for them. Come on, dude.
Howdy.
Come on. Really? That's your trial? An uncontrolled trial of 15 people, all of whom were probably going to get better anyways, who you gave placebo to. Come on, dude. So ivermectin trials are still ongoing. I've done videos on this. We're waiting on randomized trials on ivermectin. I'm not holding my breath for reasons I've mentioned with Dr. Prasad on the show. So already he's got a bias against the vaccines, right? With all this misinformation he's already spread. And then he says people with prior infection get no benefit from vaccines. All right. So this is a gray area. I agree. If you've been infected before, you're probably immune against severe disease, right? But there is data that says that if you get another dose, your neutralizing antibodies are higher, and that may be correlated with protection against infection and severe disease. So it's still a little gray area. Doesn't mean you should go run out and get vaccinated if you've already had the disease. I agree with him on that. But I don't think we can speak in absolutes about this. And then he goes on to say the school policies and CDC is totally counterfactual. Don't listen to them. If you get sued, I'll be your expert witness, etc. All right. So here's how we can think about everything he said. He's wrong about the vaccines. He's right that we should question schools' policies if it comes to preventing our children from being in person, in class for school that we are paying for with a teacher class that should be protected with vaccines and masks.
Bro, YouTubers, stop trying to both sides, vaccine conspiracist challenge. Like, this dude knows that other guy's a fucking full-blown hack and a charlatan and is spreading dangerous misinformation. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done this entire video. It is conveniently 8 minutes long, which is now the new amount that you need to fucking make a YouTube video in order to be able to monetize it. So, is there a, like, if there is an opportunity to, like, shit on a fucking quack doctor, it's now. Okay? What the fuck?
And let the kids go back to school. I agree with him on that. He's absolutely right. Right? And I admire the fact that he would stand up and do that. But everything he's saying about vaccines is wrong. The other stuff he talks about, the viral dynamics, is just crazy talk. But that's my take on it. All right? So you guys...
Aren't kids more likely to bring COVID into school? So why not get kids vaccinated? I mean, it depends. Like, if you can fucking vaccinate children under the age of 12, then if there's approval for it, if there's enough testing done on it, then yeah, then fucking do it.
Hi, chat.
Admirable, but wrong. Z-Dog, why don't you interview the guy? I'd love to see you actually talk to him about the one-directional chat. Sounds like Z agrees with 50% of the doc said. Good to know. See, that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, that's what happens when you both sides this, dude. Z-Dog, the fuck are you doing? You're, like, furthering the misinformation. Thank you, chatter, who said this is, like, a fucking good YouTube video. And it's good because it's fucking dog shit. When he was saying there are other treatments, he wasn't saying because of the 15 patients he treated, because of the studies he saw. And no studies. My biggest problem with this video is that he rewords Dr. Stock's claims into his own words without citing his direct speech word for word. Dude, what the fuck? Yo, these people are so fucking dumb, dude. They're all gonna fucking die, okay? They're literally all gonna fucking die. And there's nothing we can do about it. And honestly, I'm just not even... Like, look at this. I agree with you. I am holding my breath for Ivermectin as the evidence that we do have is pretty compelling. No, it's not! It's not! It's not compelling! In the same breath, these fucking idiots will literally be like... In the same breath, these fucking assholes will literally turn around and be like, there's no FDA authorization. It's emergency use authorization. So, but it's like Ivermectin is literally... Ah! You're too late for the action? What do you mean? People using scabies treatment for COVID prevention. The copium is strong with the hogs. Don't give them ammo by saying you're dumb. I mean, I don't give a fuck if they don't listen to me, man. Yeah, studies are promising. Why you should not use Ivermectin to treat or prevent COVID-19. Hey, you guys know why there's a horse in this photo that the FDA posted? Because that's what, like, the most common usage for Ivermectin is. It's not an accident. They're not being like, let's promote our horse girl, horse girl doctors. Yeah. This person took Ivermectin. This horse took Ivermectin, and now he's a human. Ivermectin turns white ladies into
Thank you for
into black men and horses into white men.
Appreciate it. Transgender pride, transgender pride, transgender pride, transgender pride, transgender pride.
Drugs can have multiple uses. What matters is the mechanism of action and the ultimate clinical impact they have. For example, using clonidine for blood pressure levels with PTSD. I know, dude. I literally take a drug for its secondary use. Okay, I know. Take it every day. But there's a difference. There's FDA approval for it. It's called finasteride. Thank you, chatter. I take a prostate drug to prevent prostate cancer for my fucking hairline. Okay? The difference is that drug is FDA approved for hair loss. You grew bitch tit yet? No, I did not grow bitch tit yet.
Can't believe it's been 10 months already. Thank you for making these dark times a little more manageable.
I know that Chet Hanks did an anti-vax rant. We already watched it. This is the first thing we watched today. You grow bitch tit yet? Funny how this guy, oh my God, the entire comment section is just riddled. You spend most of the time either agreeing with Dr. Stock or saying that the areas where Dr. Stock makes claims are gray areas or unproven. Oh, this is so bad. Anyway, here's a psycho. Look at this fucking psycho.
like every day. No more working at or ballet. I had to rock the boat so I could best life, living my best life.
Somebody needs to stop white women from doing whatever the fuck this lady's doing. Bioterrorism. That's what she's doing. Is this bait? Nope. Dude, are people okay? Like, what the fuck's going on with the Republicans, dude? Are they okay? So here, let's see what the neoliberals have to say about Natalie's new
Self-styled
video.
radicals will tell you superficial surface reforms do not interest us, must be critiqued at its root. And then the root turns out to be this universal, all-encompassing evil, right? Society itself, the system, the machine. A resentment ideologue always imagines himself to be engaged in a kind of satanic revolt against an omnipotent, omnipresent enemy. Okay, I just need to do makeup for a second. It's harder than it looks to be a makeup vlogger. Like, it's hard to talk while doing this. And nothing short of total revolution counts as any sort of victory whatsoever. We have to dismantle the entire system. Burn it all down. I guess it's pedestrian to point out that this is the revolutionary utopian equivalent of Christians awaiting the last judgment. Our kingdom is coming, comrades. Often the appeal of utopian ideology is similar to religion. It's not about healthcare, higher wages, relief from police violence. Those
She's 100% right.
are actual goals that could be demanded, worked for, and
I don't even think Marxist-Leninists would disagree with this. There you go.
achieved. Utopian ideology instead promises relief from some general malaise, alienation. And so ironically, it can have the same opiate effect that Marx ascribes to religion. But release from the general anguish of human existence is not a political goal. There's been many revolutions in the last few centuries, and so far, 0 utopias. Resentment, envy, and hunger, for that matter, are not satiated by the downfall of the old regime. When the people have no bread, they eat the rich. And when the rich are gone, they eat each other. And because of the proximity effect, envy may actually increase after the revolution. You may actually be more envious of a favored comrade, a successful citoyen. Oui, a kulak.
What? Okay, this is that. What? I don't know where this video is going. Maybe with the context, I would understand the point that she's making. Isn't this like when Destiny used to say, you can't defeat racism with socialism? Like, what if the factory democratically organizes to vote to do racism? Which is technically true. The point is, the factory is currently doing racism. It's just that, you know, it's in the hands of the few. Bro, you were agreeing? Don't back out now? I mean, I was agreeing with this point, but it took a very weird turn. It's like the last 5 minutes of a 1 hour and 48 long video.
Than you ever were of the aristocrats. So envy turns paranoid and imaginative in revolutionary moments. It gets sublimated into morality, and the accusations start flying. That citizen is conspiring against the revolution. That peasant is hoarding grain. So the guillotine starts slicing thousands of heads off, the gulags fill up, or an authoritarian strongman takes over just to announce another revolution 2 decades later. The things people will do to stay relevant, honestly. And for what? What long-term egalitarian utopia?
I wouldn't say it's envy that causes many of the historic socialist revolutions to fail. I mean, there's obviously so many different reasons, which I know Natalie agrees with: outside influences, constant war with imperialist forces. But I think ultimately envy doesn't play that significant of a role. I've said a million times over that I prefer the neoliberal method of control, of sedating the masses to the more authoritarian methods of control that we have seen in historic revolutionary socialist development. I've said this a million times over. 30 different brands of Oreos and the mirage of choice creates this idea of liberty within people, and that's a significantly better way of sedating the masses rather than telling them like, no, we can't do it. We're just not going to give you fucking coffee beans because we just simply don't have coffee beans right now. And you're going to shut the fuck up. Left is confused. I mean, I've literally said that. I always say that. I mean, think about it this way. I think a level of control is an absolute necessity. Sorry, look at the fucking hogs. Okay? That's always what's going on. Control occurs in politics, whether you admit it or whether you see it or not. I would rather manufacture consent, okay, than say like we're stopping harmful information from being prevented. I mean, it's a bit of both. But I think manufacturing consent and the neoliberal method of control is demonstrably more successful than more authoritarian forms. Helping people feel like they're free or allowing people to feel like they're free is a demonstrably successful way of controlling the population. Envy is the boring standard. Pepe analysis of why counter-revolutions were successful. Yeah, I don't know how envy features into this, but...
Utopia results. Socialism with Chinese characteristics.
Now?
Or the poor constantly want what you have, you first world spoiled product. What? If the neoliberal method of control worked, there wouldn't be 30K people watching you. It doesn't matter. I have 30,000 people watching me, but a revolution is not occurring because ultimately it doesn't fucking matter because the people that do end up going out and voting in the bourgeois electoral systems that we have developed under a capitalist organization of the economy will still continue to put the needs of corporations and the wants of the wealthy over the interests of the citizens, of the interests of the working class. That's just the reality. So that is proof that it's working. That's my point. You should watch the whole video, maybe not on stream. Natalie's point is couched within a larger point about political discourse.
Hassel, hi Hasan, hi chat.
This is a 2-minute clip of a video essay that's 2 hours long about envy and is clipped for r/neolib, leaving out her talking positively about leftism and revolutions. Ideally for you, you'd have a socialistic economy and a neoliberal illusion of freedom. I mean, that's not even neoliberal. The illusion of freedom there isn't even like a neoliberal thing. It's just
9 months
what neoliberal Western nations have been able to successfully implement. I wouldn't even say that it's like straight up neoliberalism or a tenet of neoliberalism. You can have authoritarian neoliberalism. Chile is a good example of this, right? Like more authoritarian neoliberalism can exist.
Would you consider yourself more left than Natalie?
You gotta watch the whole video. She's making a philosophical argument, and as a philosophy major myself, I can say she's doing the annoying thing we do where we use words with a meaning that they don't hold in common parlance. There are about 2 hours before this explaining envy from a philosophical POV or coming at it from the colloquial use as a synonym for jealousy. Kind of got a point. If a revolution happened, people would rip you limb from limb and a crumb of money. Yeah, dude, totally. The neoliberal method of control, or the neoliberal manufacturing consent, has completely fucking dismantled labor unions in this country. One minor way of pushing back against the gross abundance and overall exploitation that is baked into this economic organization. Okay? Like, there are no fucking... Look no further than the average working class person becoming a lumpen prole and literally speaking out against labor unions if you want to understand how successful that method of control has been. You've reacted to this before, but it's Zizek on the neoliberal versus authoritarian father. Yeah. This is my least favorite thing, though. Like, there's a different tier system of like things I fucking hate. One is people literally being like, "Oh my God, ContraPoints is a conservative," and then the other is people seeing like one fucking take, just like one in a sea of 30,000 chatters. They see one person that literally corresponds to their biases about tankies or whatever the fuck boogeyman that they've created in their heads. That is just like a 14-year-old with a fucking Twitch account and a whole lot of fucking pent-up resentment towards a horrible future that the previous generations has left before them. And you go, "Oh my God! Oh, people are calling her fucking conservative. Jesus fucking Christ." It's like one person, dude. Chill. Okay? You do this. Yeah, totally. When I do this, it's not like a boatload of comments. She deleted this tweet of saying, "Is it really controversial to admit that the great leap forward and cultural revolution are not proud moments in the history of communism? If you can't be critical of these things, you're as much as a brainless ideologue as liberals who avert their eyes from the horrors of capitalism." I think what a lot of people do with the great leap forward and cultural revolution is very similar to, and I literally said this when I debated Jank, if you guys remember, people that mythologize past revolutions, okay? People that mythologize revolutions of the past without admitting the significant problems that have also happened alongside it, or immediately running defense for said problems, are no different than the way Jank used to mythologize the 1960s America. You know, when we were the closest to a social democracy, a racist one, but still a closest to a social democracy, where like we had better social safety nets, and also on top of that, like a higher marginal tax rate for the wealthiest Americans. You know what I mean? Like, that shit didn't work. Okay?
Happy anniversary, cutie pie. Lol.
I also don't know who the fuck she's like, getting upset at here. I feel like these are really, really, like, anytime you are in the Western world and anytime you're in the Western world and like regard Marxist Leninists, let alone people who think Stalin is great, or Maoists, you're referencing 14 people that are extremely online. So I choose not to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. It's just like, it's completely irrelevant.
Stalin Pog.
It's almost reactionary. It's what conservatives do to shit on the left. And you are doing that to yourself for no reason. Right? It's like when fucking conservatives be like, can you please address the statements that, what's his face? The fucking... Can you please address the statements made by Contra is talking about you? What? Why would she be talking about me? I agree with her. You fucking idiot. Yes, Louis Farrakhan. That's what I was going to say. It's whenever conservatives say like, "Oh, Louis Farrakhan said this. Address this." It's like, is Louis Farrakhan a fucking leftist, dude? Just because he's black? I think like I think people do this because they lock in and hyper focus on like their immediate reactions and interactions on the internet. Okay? And they end up thinking that it's a far greater problem because it's a big problem for you. It's annoying. You understand? It's fucking annoying because people are constantly chirping in your fucking replies about a particular thing. Feel me? Natalie's discussed in Men how she feels responsible for radicalizing a lot of people from the far right into the tanky left. Dude, I hate that. Like, tanky left? What the fuck is the tanky left? Everyone goes through the aesthetic phases of leftism. It's like a normal part of the process. And then they fucking, their edgy points of view that are aesthetics focused die down and they normalize their points of view. And not Chris Farley is 100% correct. It seems most extremely online Marxist-Leninist understanding of communist and socialist theory start and end at memes and Discord posts rather than delving into the rich and complex network of leftist theory that isn't always congruent with other parts. Natalie's takes are basic Gramsci shit from the 30s. I think you're highly underrepresenting the amount of leftists in our communities that will go to bat for authoritarian socialist projects. So what? I mean, literally, so what? Like, if I spent time fucking crying about that beyond what I already do, which is like, yeah, you're delusional and it's laughable to think that, like, China does not engage in, like, horrible actions, which I do all the time. I mention it all the fucking time. But anything beyond that is, like, a complete waste of time. So what?
Bruh.
Seriously. The reason why I will not hold Nazis to that same fucking standard is because there's like literal fucking Nazis in the government, dude. We had Donald Trump's administration stacked to the deck with people who held similar values to white supremacists, and they were impacting the immigration policy. I don't think we have any fucking Maoists or Dengists in the American government. It literally does not matter. She's been shitting on leftist strawman in all of her recent videos. Her takes are becoming more lukewarm every video. Whatever. There's no like. Why has this chat become such a cesspool of people who constantly spam about imaginary tankies recently? It's embarrassing. Because there's a lot of sock them and sock them adjacent content creators that are both in this space or literal straight up neoliberals who say that they're social democrats when they're not. Nice. Okay. And those communities spend a insane amount of fucking time, like being like, this is a tanky, that's a tanky, this is a tanky. We need to clean up our ranks. We need to clean up our ranks. Like, what the fuck? Because they learn about leftism from you and then never delve further. Really? People learned leftism from me and never delve further, and that's why you're saying that's why they're shitting on tankies. Well, I don't. I fucking say this all the time too. So what the fuck are you talking about? I probably have more Marxist-Leninists watching me than most like Marxist-Leninist fucking outwardly pro like Stalin content creators. So what the fuck are you talking about? What does that take? What, are you gonna fucking sit here and be like Jason and Ruhe has more fucking real revolutionaries watching him than you? Is that what you're gonna say? Flexing about his viewership? No. The point is, it's not a fucking flex about my viewership, man. It's what I'm trying to say is like, I have a certain set of beliefs, but I like to hold open as big as a fucking tent as possible. And I don't personally think that like
tankies get the wall.
Tankists are a serious fucking, they present like a serious problem in the West, in America, or Maoists. They're not. They're like a tiny fucking, like a tiny
More
group
like
of individuals.
subjects.
Wait, what? 1.4 billion Chinese say you're wrong. HasanAbi in chat. What does this guy has to say? Wait. What? China is exporting the truth. Cry more about shit from 50 years ago. 1.4 billion tankies in China is the majority opinion. I like Hasan's passion and your takes suck. What? What kind of a dumbass take is that, dude? It's like saying in the aftermath of 9/11, the overwhelming majority of fucking Americans. First of all, you make it seem like every single fucking Chinese person is like, I love the Chinese Communist Party and everything that they've ever done. So shut the fuck up. What an idiotic take. Okay, 330 million Americans absolutely love American imperialism. That makes it correct. Like, well, shut the fuck up, dude. Actually, shut up. But it's not just 30 Westerners, is it? It literally, from the point of impact, it literally is.
Tankies with anime avatars are sociopaths.
There's like 15 Maoists in America and 2 are Brace Belden and Norm Finkelstein. True. Okay. Let's watch the anti-racist camp Republicans can't ban.
If you primarily studied the culture of your ancestors in elementary school, take a step forward.
If your ancestors were forced to come to the United States, not by choice, take a step backwards.
So this is what they call a privilege line, and they ask a series of questions about how you may be privileged in life. And if you can see towards the front, it's mostly white male. In the back, it's mostly black women.
If you do not have to think about race and racism every day, take a step forward.
What the fuck is this, dude?
Down any town where we found our common ground.
This is Anytown Leadership Camp. Atop a mountain in Arizona, detached from the distractions of the world, there's no horseback riding, creek swimming, or lake fishing. These young folks are here to lean into conversations most people try to stay away from. Conversations around race, diversity, and privilege.
Or has an idea of what prejudice is.
Anytown Camp. What exactly is this thing?
So sometimes described as like a human relations camp, a leadership camp. We're talking about kind of all the isms. So we'll focus on racism, sexism, ableism, but then we're also focusing on...
Bro, I don't know. I mean, people are going to get mad at me for this, but like, I kind of don't feel like this is a successful way to like de-radicalize people or fucking, you know, create an entire generation of like anti-racists. Am I crazy? Like, I don't think this is successful. It's just, it's so strange. It's definitely not scalable, but also, like, did this work for anybody? I don't know. Maybe there were some people there. This is neoliberal echo chamber camp. It was very successful. I went. It was very successful. Me, bitch. Really? No cap. I went to this senior year of high school. I went to this. Actually helped me be less homophobic. Damn. Okay. That's cool. All right. I guess it did. But I feel like it's so minor, dude.
On like, how do you have a productive conversation?
Anytown has been stirring young minds in Arizona since the 50s. It was started by the National Coalition of Christians and Jews, an organization wanting to rid the world of bigotry.
Ban me now? Wait, why? Why would I ban you? What the fuck?
Now, there are dozens of Anytowns across America, but they all operate independently.
Hey girl, do your thing and switch.
Here in Arizona, campers pay up to $500 to spend the week talking about these controversial issues.
But does it do any harm? I feel like it's still useful to the small amount of people that do go. Yeah, no, probably if there's one person that's fucking turned from this.
Check out the start of this video where a based high school kid educates his debate class on the Civil War flag.
You have ever been in a
Also
situation
my favorite exchange.
Breaking into a streamer, HasanAbi says homophobia was minor. No, I'm saying that like there might be some people that are susceptible to having their attitudes changed about certain things or re-examine privileges that they have. But I also feel like, you know, it's probably not the, it's probably not like, I mean, maybe there's studies on it. I don't know. Probably not like the common thing.
You were with someone saying something like racist, homophobic, just something hateful, and you were like frozen in that moment and had no idea what to do.
Matt Case is an Arizona public school teacher. And one
Yo, okay, I take it back. That part, you guys want to know what fucking, I think, de-radicalizes people? I'm not like a professional at this stuff at all, okay? I don't know anything about educating children, even though I do fucking educate 30,000 kids every day to the best of my ability. But you know what I personally think is like really fucking helpful with de-radicalizing people or like showing them their privileged blind spots, as I like to say?
Racism is bad, happy 10 months.
Being honest about their fucking bigotry. Like in a safe environment, people from a diverse background, like a group of individuals from every fucking marginalized identity, getting together and being honest about the fucking bigotry that they, one, have experienced, but also they themselves have fucking thought or have done. I think that's supremely important in like rehabilitation, I guess. Just say it with your chest, no. It's like what I do. There are, I can't say this with a fact. I don't know. I can't say this for a fact. I don't know if this is real or not. But there are so many people in this community that probably held on to like a lot of transphobic opinions, and they've heard me talk a million times over about how I used to say transphobic shit, okay, or had transphobia, okay, that I was a transphobic person, that probably makes them more comfortable with saying like, well, that guy changed his attitude. That's why like having someone like myself from a privileged background does help with respect to de-radicalizing people. Because like some people are fearful that there's this attitude among progressive groups that like you can never ever fucking do wrong, or if you've ever done a bad thing, 10 months that means like you're a bad person across the board. Like if you ever held on to a bigoted point of view, we're not going to examine the social conditioning that factors into that. That just means you're individually a bad person. And I feel like for people, getting over that hump is genuinely hard. So I also feel like having this conversation in a diverse environment where people show you like, look, there's a lot of people that have bigoted opinions. You know, having like a black person there demonstrate that they themselves are maybe transphobic. You know what I mean? While the white person's like, I've had some racist thoughts. Like that is a shared experience where people recognize like, oh yeah, everyone has some like fucking flaws and it's all good. Like, we should learn from them and become better. You feel me?
One of the camp's 3 directors, but he first came to Anytown as a camper at 17.
When I first started, like in the 90s, I think we had a very, like almost a little bit of a colorblind approach. And so what's changed there is like, we're gonna take a look at white privilege. We're gonna take a look
your
at—
attitude on your past transphobia helped me move on with my past transphobia. You recognize it and move forward, not feedback loop to it. I think the most de-radicalizing has to come through organic exposure, like the godson of David Duke, who became friends with the Jewish. Yeah, Derek Black. Derek Black, whose father literally is like a foundational person in like the modern American Nazi movement, would go, the son of a fucking rabbi, I think, at his school that he went to in college, would literally bring him to Shabbat dinners. Like over and over again. And that exposure, but that's why I said it has to be a diverse environment. Because like, segregation is so fucking bad, dude. Hot take. Hot take, folks. But segregation is so abhorrent and so bad. And we still have super segregated communities in America right now. Both in the remnants of the Jim Crow South and also in the fucking Jim Crow North. Like, in contemporary American society, there's still a fuckload of segregation. It's couched within class lines, as it historically has always, but there's still absolutely like the racial segregation on top of that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, look to every fucking urban environment even, and you will recognize that. Name a city and I'll name you the Red Line Street. That's a fucking trick question. It's MLK Street or MLK Boulevard or Avenue. Literally universal. Straight up. How do you feel about American college bringing back black segregation at black students' request? Yeah, no, that's not what's going on. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me stop you right there. Marginalized groups want a safe environment for themselves so they can have a fucking brief solace from the constant fucking feedback that they're getting about how they're somehow wrong. Where like every moment, every conversation they have to have also has to have like a fuckload of precursory information that they have to give to the other person to, in a lot of instances, explain their humanity to someone who does not see them as such. Okay? That's all that is. That's not a problem. Asshole. It's a fucking tiny, minor thing. Okay? Quit trying to justify self-segregation. It's not a real concept. It's literally not real. There are people who are like, oh yeah, I'm a black separatist. Like, yeah, okay, 12 people, okay? Not serious. Stop. You sound literally good kind of segregation. Yeah, it's like saying fucking getting vaccinated or going to quarantine is segregation. Yeah, good kind of segregation. Not everything has to be fucking wrong. Looking for a singular safe space in a college campus so you don't have to fucking literally, so you can like escape. Like if you're a trans person, it's the greatest example of this. If you're a trans person going to college and recognizing that you yourself are actually trans, despite that the fact that like you probably had a lot of internalized transphobia as a consequence of how powerful and how pervasive transphobia is and how normative that position is. A safe space provides a sense of community where you can actually learn in an environment where you're not around people who literally will be like, oh, you're trans, you're a fucking dude. Like, fuck you. Oh, you're trans, there's something wrong with you. Do you understand? That's what it offers. And it's impossible, dude. It is literally fucking impossible for you to comprehend if you don't have any of those like marginalizations. It's impossible for you to comprehend. You will never ever understand this. Okay? You just won't. Because you're, unfortunately, I hate to tell this to you, is pretty privileged. Like, most spaces are safe for you. You know what I mean? Especially if you're like a white dude. And I'm saying this from my own perspective. Like, I'm a fucking white dude. Okay? Every space is safe for me. That's why when people come in here, they're like, oh, you sand N-word or whatever every now and then, you Muslim terrorist, whatever. It doesn't really fucking impact me. It doesn't really bother me. That's whatever. But ultimately, like, people don't come in here and they're like, they can't use anything that's like a pejorative against me. You know what I mean? Like any of the characteristics that I have can't really be used as a way to attack me or criticize me in the way that so many people have my entire life. That's the everyday existence of anyone that is a marginalized person. Gay bars, historically black colleges, religious organizations on campuses are not exclusionary. They're inclusionary and create a space to see and connect with people who have similar experiences. Yes. Without having to defend your existence from fucking dumbass debate lords that want to be like, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. It's like, dude, sometimes you don't want to have a conversation. Sometimes you just want to fucking relax. And you have that privilege. You can always relax because no one is like, your whiteness is offensive or whatever the fuck. Or when people do say that, it's like completely powerless and fucking silly. And you can move on. You know what I mean? You're not going to go to the bank and they're going to be like, you're white, so you're not getting a fucking bank loan. Or you're not going to fucking, be able to, you're not going to get denied a job opportunity in a similar capacity. I know a lot of white dudes will be like, what the fuck? Diversity initiatives have made it impossible. It's like, yeah. I know. That's why it's still like, 70%, 79% of like fucking all higher level positions are still filled by white dudes. Okay? And that's the reason for safe spaces. And they are ultimately harmless. It's like a fucking area that you can go to once a week or some shit. Like, most people that cry about safe spaces have never been inside one, and they've only heard about it from reactionary ass anti-SJW idiots who literally cannot stop thinking about black people existing and trans people existing. Like, they literally just cannot stop. They're just that's all they talk about. Okay? Fat Empanada, invite me on the stream now. No, bitch. What a take. Anyway. That's why I always say
keep up the
that, like, my Discord, for example, is not a fully safe space. You're going to encounter things that you might not want to hear. What? Is calling all white people racist marginalizing white people's experience? Yeah, banks don't fucking turn away anyone else either. Stop lying. Maybe because most people in the U.S. are white. The world is not a safe space. Dude, you are a 4-month subscriber. Has been following since 2019. Are you all right, dude? What happened? Did your fucking brother take over your account or something? You chatters are fucking idiots, and so is Hasan. Maybe it's not misinformation, you fucking idiot, bro. He's prescribed Ivermectin as a face cream. You are the one spreading misinformation, fucked hard. Oh my god. Oh, this is got to be like a fucking... This is my most loyal hate watcher, I think.
Love you, Hassie. Chat you back at Panoko.
I have literally been told that all white people are racist, and that is a core belief of CRT. My god, dude. That is not a fucking... What the fuck are you saying, dude? He's completely right about what he said. You're spreading information about the vaccine and its effects on the top of the hour ad break. No. The only fucking vaccine for the top of the hour ad break that's coming right now, because it's $3.57, is a $5 a month subscription or a Twitch Prime or an ad block or a VPN. Those are the only methods that you can successfully, 100%, with 100% efficacy, avoid the top of the hour ad break that's coming right now.
Turkish Vouch.
Okay? Dude, I wonder why this dude has been watching for so long. Like, he's like routinely in the chat. Kind of interesting. He makes fun of conservatives, I guess, from time to time. I really want to dive into this dude's mind for a second. Like, what the fuck's going on here? He's like a Ludwig fan, too. Ludwig is like more of a lib than me when it comes to social issues. Here's the ad break now, by the way. The world is not a safe space? Dude, that is such a fucking idiotic take. I know that, dumbass. So why not fucking create like at least a singular moment for people to fucking breathe if they want to? I hate that. Like, I hate that take. It's such a dumb take, dude. That's the whole point. Like, I love when this is such a painfully white take. The world is not a safe space. It's like, what, you think black people don't know that, you fucking idiot? You think black people are gonna like have like a fucking gathering, okay, once a week? Or you think like gay people and trans people are gonna have a gathering once a week at like a fucking safe space? And then all of a sudden they're gonna forget like the many years of bullying and homophobia and transphobia that they fucking endured? Like, what a dumb take, dude. You have to be you have to literally exist in a situation that is already incredibly fucking privileged to be able to have such a take like this and assume that it's profound.
Transgender pride, transgender pride, transgender pride.
He just resubscribed? I didn't see it. One of those guys that thinks it makes America soft, LMFAO. Yeah, dude. When I think about hardened Americans, I think of conservatives who fucking literally have an aneurysm when someone says Allah instead of God, when they recite like the fucking Pledge of Allegiance or some shit at a high school graduation. That's what I think of. I think of like, you know, the peak of strength, okay, and masculinity is hogs that fucking lose their shit when a corporation in very transparently capitalist interests say like, yeah, for 1 month alone, we're just gonna fucking, you know, be as gay as we can. And in that sense, like, they're not even fucking leather daddies all of a sudden, but they just have like a fucking rainbow flag all over their shit. And conservatives are like, what the fuck? Why can't I have that 1 month also be straight pride? Where's my straight pride? It's like, dude, that's literally, you are the fucking softest baby butter bullshit.
Yee.
At like how that plays out through different identities, right?
That phrase, tip of the iceberg, there's identity that people see, but then there's identity that's deeper.
Why are you here at Anytown Camp?
I think at first I just signed up because I thought it was going to be like leadership, and with that, like, I want to go into business, so I thought that'd be good for me.
Actually, my Spanish teacher told me it was like this leadership camp and I could come here to get 50 service hours, which was like my main reason to come.
Oh, so you came here for the service hour?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here mostly because of my mother, who had signed me up for this camp, and I accepted that decision, and now I'm here.
My mom. And she told me, but like a couple of nights before, and I didn't want to come, but she packed my bag for me.
Like most camps, you got workshops, games, and activities, but these activities are designed to have campers engage some of America's most sensitive topics. There's dialogue instead of debate.
When your actions are hurting or negatively affecting someone else, is that when you should be canceled? Is that what you're saying?
There's some role play.
I mean, it's just a compliment. Like, I want your skin color. Like, it's beautiful.
And there's a lot of listening. A large part of this Anytown camp is making space for individuals and groups to be heard. And right now they're getting prepared for what they call a fishbowl, where groups will sit here in the middle, have a conversation, while people on the outside just shut up and listen.
Today we're going to be practicing deep listening.
What does it mean to be Black?
It's a part of us, but it's not all we are.
We're expected to be strong and able to handle everything, but being a Black person, I don't necessarily feel like I always have the right to be more sensitive.
It's like an unspoken understanding that we all have. But as someone who grew up hearing constantly that I wasn't Black enough, it does make me think, well, what am I supposed to be?
The fishbowl is like being under the real-time anthropological gaze of other folks. They're a fly on the wall in the living room, barbershop, and beauty salon. And when it's not objectifying, it can work.
Love you. Love this community.
I'm not texting. I have to order. My mom's birthday today, chat. I'm listening, but I have to order food.
Pride parent.
Midweek, campers break into small groups based on shared experiences like race or sexual orientation, and they talk about what ties them together. Later in the evening, there's culture night. It's like identity show and tell, where you present your culture to the camp through skits, discussion, and audience interaction.
So the things that bind us together in the LionX community are our celebrations, dance, and music.
Chinese language is very tonal. For example, Bang Hue Kong.
That's who farted in Vietnamese.
Where are you from?
Oh, from Arizona.
No, but like, what part of China are you from?
Well, I'm not Chinese. I'm half Hispanic, half Vietnamese.
Oh.
What the fuck? Hey, that's a microaggression! See? There you go. Everyone's capable of committing such horrible acts, dude. And I think they're RPing this, but still. You understand? Part of the reason why they're RPing that
Hassel, thanks for the amazing
because
coverage.
it's a very commonplace thing. So even in the safe space, they're experiencing, you know, not so safe microaggressions, guys. Look at that.
Not a big fan of Thanksgiving. What you were taught for Thanksgiving is an absolute lie. It was a massacre.
So the first thing we noticed is that none of us really felt immediately connected to each other.
Another thing that we could agree on as a group is that white privilege is very dominant in our culture.
Another thing we wanted to take into consideration was taking accountability and just by making space for those that we have affected.
Throughout the week, the energy would volley between a kumbaya atmosphere of smiles, hugs, and giggles, and uncomfortable conversations that created some tense moments.
Content warning. There will be some derogatory language as well as violence.
Tonight we watched a bunch of skits about prejudice and how it's like a domino effect, how it starts with preconditioning and eventually leads to genocide.
Anytown staff asked us not to film these skits, but what we saw was kind of heavy. Counselors acted out some racist scenarios, some of which were loosely based on real experience.
This is real life for these folks that you know personally now.
We are crying because we just experienced this for the first time.
You have a right as a human being to not be okay with the way Black people are treated.
It gets me angry. All these emotions that I hate being.
I'm not gonna sit here and put my life on display in order to educate you.
Other unaffiliated Anytowns have been accused of the skits being a bit too immersive. Here in Arizona, it got emotional, but most people seem to think what they saw was worth a conversation.
Holy shit, what are they doing? They're just like ripping, bro, they're just ripping the N-word, like, maybe a little too comfortably. How the fuck do you turn around from that and then, like, end up feeling safe? That's kind of crazy. Someone said liberal midsommar. Okay, this turned into a weird place. They use gusano with a hard O. Stop.
I'd imagine, you know, there's some folks that would look at what you're doing and say, man, they taking them kids up there at the top of that mountain and they indoctrinating them. All of that conversation around race and all of this is divisive.
These conversations don't divide, they actually unite because you get through the BS.
In high school, have you had any kind of conversations close to what you've experienced here at camp?
Never. I've talked about race, but not to this level, not in the way that everyone is checked for the privileges that they have and don't.
I'm learning things here as a 19-year-old that I should have knew already.
In all 18 years of my life, I have not heard almost everything I've heard at this camp.
It's been an emotional ride. It's been really eye-opening, and I'm grateful for it.
I feel that in some way it is, in a way, trying to inflict some shame with how its programs are. I don't think it's intentional. I wouldn't say that that's at all what they're trying to do, but with some of the programs here, it can appear that way.
Y'all going too fast and since speed limit is 15.
Do you really believe this place is making a difference?
Yeah, we're chiseling away at these things. We might not see them end, but we're leaving it better for the people that come after us.
Yeah, I mean, dude, just do a fucking HasanAbi camp, dude. You know what I'm saying? Please do a series of IRL streams at this place. I mean, you know what this is? Honestly, this is like this is like Jesus camp, but for the gospel of anti-racism, I guess. Where, like, it's cool. It's better than fucking Jesus camp, so there's that. You know what I'm saying? I think more than just anti-racism. I have to pee so bad again. All right, we're going to move on to fucking the Pentecostal thing that I really wanted you guys to watch. Or before we do that, we can do the story of Pepe. No, we'll do the Pentecostal pastor, Chris Wolford. I feel like this is going to be tight. Now that we talked about fucking camp, now we talked about Jesus camp, it's time to fucking understand what Jesus camp is.
Back up. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, Pentecostal pastors, I mean, this is basically fucking, this is literally, you know, snake charming, you know, fucking speaking in tongues, shit like that. It's gonna be tight. I gotta pee.
All right, Pastor Chris Wolford.
Yes, sir.
You're the pastor at
the House of the Lord Jesus in Squire, West Virginia.
And you grew up where?
I grew up until I was 11 in Pike County, Kentucky. And when I was 11, my father passed, and then we moved from there to McDowell County, West Virginia, and finished pretty much growing up until I was old enough to leave home there.
And what kind of childhood did you have?
Normal, just like any other kid.
Your dad was a pastor as well?
No, he wasn't a pastor. He was just a member of the Lord Jesus Temple in Yeager, West Virginia. My uncle was the pastor, Brady Dawson.
Mm. So it's kind of in the family.
Mm.
Your brother was also?
My brother now, he was a pastor.
Yeah. And the Pentecostal religion is different from Baptist or typical Christian religions in what ways?
We believe in worshiping the Lord. We believe in shouting, speaking in tongues, laying hands on the sick, casting out devils, taking up serpents.
This man is... Pentecostal priests are like cops for God, I guess. Now, what I mean by that is that it's undeniable. He's got cop physique, okay? You know it. I know it. This man was born to be a cop. Okay? He is looking like a perfect thumb. Kind of like my thumb, actually. Like, fucked up, you know what I mean? Like bitten on certain parts.
Love you, Hasan 3.
If you drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt you. We just believe the Bible says make a joyful noise unto the Lord. We play our instruments. We try to, what we call press, and we call it press, get into the Spirit. The Bible said, them that worship me must worship me in spirit, in truth. And you got to press into the Spirit in order to feel the Spirit of God, the power of God. There's a power of God that can heal the sick. And there's a power of God that can raise the dead. I mean, that's the kind of God we serve. We serve a mighty God. And we believe in, like I said, praying for the sick, believe in taking up the serpents. If God moves in that way. I'm a little different than some places. I tell all my people that come here to make sure, if they do take up the serpents, to make sure that they feel it's God that's leading them in doing it. I don't want them to do it if it's not of God. And I don't, like I said, I don't tell them they got to. Matter of fact, I tell them if it ain't God, leave them alone, because there's death in this. There's death. And
you lost a couple
I
relatives.
lost my father died in 83.
From a snake bite?
Yes, sir. And my brother died. We just had he died Memorial weekend in 2000 on that Sunday, Memorial Weekend, May 2012.
Those are both during a service?
Yeah, well, yeah, he got bit during the service, and I think he lived around 9 or 10 hours. We always ask when one gets bit if they want to go to the hospital, and if they decide to, that's okay. I mean, you don't know. We try to trust in God, but you don't know. You don't know what you'll do, and it's easy to say I will, but until you try, But we don't never make. If one wants to go, we'll take it. It's their choice. If they want to try to suffer it out or let whatever happen, we'll pray with them and try to nurse them the best that we can and make them comfortable.
You take them to a hospital?
If they desire to. Now, if they don't, we'll just pray with them and try to make them comfortable. If they're in pain, we'll try to pray for them. And if they're sick, if they something they think they might can drink to help their sickness as far as settle their stomach. If they want to go, we'll take them. If they don't, we'll do what we can to make them comfortable until the poison runs its course or until they, pass. I mean,
when your father was bitten during a service, did he choose to go to the hospital? Or?
No, he refused medical treatment.
And what about your brother?
He refused medical treatment.
And you've been bitten before, too?
Been bitten 5 times.
5 times.
I've been bit 3 times with a rattler. With rattlers.
During services?
Yes, and twice with copperheads. I got bit last May with the Eastern.
And the reason that the Pentecostal snake handling goes on is because in the Bible you
Mark 16 and 18, Jesus was getting ready to descend into heaven after being crucified. Had the 11 apostles there. There was Judas was dead, so there wasn't but 11 at that time. And he gave them a commandment. He said, "Go forth into the world and preach the gospel to all that believe. Them that believe and is baptized shall be saved. Them that believeth not shall be damned. And these signs shall follow them that believe." May not be in order, but thou shalt take up serpents, thou shalt lay hands on the sick, they shall recover, thou shalt speak with new tongues, thou shalt cast out devils, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them.
I saw a bottle of strychnine on the
Yes.
pulpit.
A real American.
So you'll pass out Dixie cups with strychnine?
Yeah, if like I said, that's another thing. It's not forced. Some people seem to think this is a cult. Nobody's forced to do anything. And there's times that, well, if we don't know a person, if we don't feel like that they should be doing it, if we believe in living a good, clean, holy life. We believe in being holy and living a clean life, and if we feel like there's someone here that's not living, we won't let them in do things like that, because I've got to watch over one's soul. And if I feel like somebody's doing something that the Bible says that they shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven for, and they get bit or drink that poison and die, then I've got to live with that on my conscience. So I try to, for the ones that handle the serpents, I tell them to please do their best to live what the Bible tells them to live.
You're not doing it for shock value. You're doing it because
it's the word. That's it. I didn't write it. I mean, if I'd have wrote it, I'd have left it out. I'm just being obedient. And now, I know this is one of the questions we always get. If it's the word and you're supposed to do it, why do you get bit? And the only answer I can give people on that, well, there's a few. First of all, the Bible said God's ways is not our ways. His thoughts is higher than ours. But we're to be obedient to the Word of God. Even we're supposed to love the Lord enough to lay our life down. He said there's no greater love except a man lay down his life for a friend. He's the best friend I ever know. But he told the apostles, he said, you go preach the Word. He told them, go preach it to all Creek nations. They went and did what he told them to do. But if you search out in history and according to tradition, Peter was crucified upside down. Paul was beheaded. The Bible tells us that Stephen was stoned to death, preaching the Word of God, doing what he was told to do, being obedient. But yet he was killed for it. Why did that happen? They was just doing what they was told to do. And that's the way we look at it with this. We don't know. We know people think we do this and think we can't get bit. And that's not true at all. We know there's a chance. Every time we go in a box, we know there's a chance that we can get bit. And we also know there's a chance that we could die. But we want to be willing to be obedient to the Word. If we feel that God is leading us to do that, we want to be obedient to that. And we want to be willing to give our life if asked. And like I said, we all get weak in faith. If one does go to the hospital, we don't put it down. We don't put it down, don't look down on nobody. But that's the best answer I can give him. I don't know why he would tell us to take them up and then turn around and a lot of times we get bit. People get bit because they get ahead of God. They just move out and get ahead of God. But I still believe there's times even in the will of God you can get bit. If it was prophesied that my dad would die he didn't say who would die. It was just prophesied that a son would die. And that was prophesied, I don't know how many times, about for a solid 2 months. About every weekend somebody would get in the spirit and prophesy that a son was going to die. And I remember, I was just a kid, but I could remember the church talking, wonder who's going to die, you know. And then my father got bit that Sunday, and like I said, he lived right at 10 hours. But you know, I know a lot of people think that's foolish, but my dad was a bad alcoholic, bad. Lived a bad life. And I seen him as a young man, young child, give his heart to God. And I seen a man that was an alcoholic, mean, that beat on his kids and whooped us. And like I said, now I never got a whooping. I don't believe that I didn't deserve, but I just believe due to his alcohol abuse that he went a little overboard many a time. And I seen that man change when he gave his heart to God. To totally, he never drank another drop after that. He never smoked another cigarette. He never cussing. I mean, he was just, I seen a man that was filled with love. And not only did it change his life for the better on that part, but he found something that he loved so much that he was willing to give his life for.
Bro, your dad did not die because of alcoholism. He died because of religion, okay? Because of your twisted, distorted understanding of religion. Also, these are the same motherfuckers who would be like, God tells me I should be bit by a snake. And if I die, I die. But they trust the higher authority of God, a figure that they will never know exists. But the higher authority of the CDC and the FDA, well, guess what? They are led by Satan. So I will not be taking that vaccine. It's like, motherfuckers will literally get bit by snakes, like poisonous fucking snakes, before they get the vaccine, dude. What the fuck? Which, by the way, I mean, this is no different than like evangelicals who are psychos, who then, wait, there's a pro-life camp? We'll watch that after this. Who then will fucking turn around and just, you know, they'll turn around and not take the vaccine.
And my brother passed 8 years ago used to say, if it ain't worth dying for, it ain't worth living for. And I guess that's about the truth of things, you know. If it ain't worth dying for, it ain't worth living for. And I know a lot of people think we're foolish, but like I said, I don't force it on nobody. And what gets me, I guess, about our faith is there's different churches all up and down this road here, Baptist, Church of God, and I don't put none of them down. I don't go in their church, or I don't go on their Facebook page and begin to make comments. If you don't believe like I do, if you don't take up serpents, you're going to go to hell, or you're stupid. But yet, those people don't care to come on my Facebook page or in person and tell me I'm foolish, I'm stupid, I'm ignorant. And that's the part I guess I don't understand. We all supposed to be serving the Lord. We're all trying to get to heaven. We're all working on the same goal here. Maybe maybe you're doing it a little different than I am, but we're still supposed. He said, will they know? Jesus said, how will they know, talking about the world, that you are my disciples? He said, if you love one another. We're to love each other. We're not to speak evil of one another, put each other down, talk bad about them. We're not to do that. And, you know, I've been hurt many a time, but that's all right too. But I try to never regardless of even when my brother died, regardless how people felt, regardless to the ones that thought he was ignorant, he had family that was alive and hurting, but they didn't care. They went home there and put us down like dogs anyways. And I said, you know, I would never do that to nobody. And what gets me, you take somebody that maybe get out here and OD on drugs.
Bro, the way he's talking about his family members, tell me how this is in any way, shape, or form remotely different than how anti-vaxxers whose fucking family members have died regard the COVID vaccine. Like, it's got to be the same operating principle where it's like, it's fight, brother. It's fight. God took them away. It's literally the same, dude. When you see, like, this Missouri nurse had both of her parents die because of COVID, and she still refuses to take the vaccine. It's like, it's literally the same kind of crazy. God, Americans are such hogs. We are such hogs, dude. We're just a nation of fucking hogs, dude. That fucking top button is holding on with the might of God. That's what that top button's doing. God is everywhere.
See people saying rest in peace. You don't see nobody going on there telling that family how ignorant them people was for, but yet somebody give their life for what they believe, and yet we're foolish, we're ignorant, we're stupid. Our faith is probably persecuted the worst of any Christian faith that they are. But that's all right too. I mean, the Bible tells us that we'd be hated by all nations. So, for his name's sake.
Has the strychnine poisoned anyone? Have people had reactions to that?
Oh yeah, there's been a few die. Not very many, but some. Well, I've had it effects from it. It sets up, what do you call that? Is it called rigor mortis?
Rigor mortis?
Yeah, that's what happens. It begins to, your joints and stuff, it locks you up and draws you up real, like the few times that I've drunk it, there's times that it's, I've got so stiff I couldn't walk. It's like I couldn't even bend my legs, and it just, like I said, it locks you up. You're just, and I believe, honestly, I tell people, if I believe if I'd have lost my faith, if I'd have thought, oh, you're going to die, you've had it, I may very well have died. But when I've got like that, I just tell myself, it's the Word of God. He said, if we drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt us. We've got to believe that regardless. He said, this is a faith thing, not a feel thing. He said, we walk by faith and not by sight. So when them times come, you just got to believe what the Word of God says. You've got to believe it with all your heart. But up to this point, I've had effects last at time. I'd say about the longest it's ever bothered me. About 15 or 20 minutes. Like I said, I got to where I couldn't walk, and I just kept speaking to myself faith that it was the Word, and I believe it. And about 20 minutes, and I was fine. But now there have been some that's died from it. But I tell people, now it does say with the strychnine, or not just strychnine, poison. If you drink anything deadly thing, it shall not hurt you. But now he didn't tell us that snake wouldn't bite us. And he said take them up. But
so the Pentecostal religion is the man is considered the head of the household,
right?
And the women are. Tell me about the relationship between a man and his wife.
Well, at this church, it ain't like I said. People, I'm just telling you what the Bible says. And it's up to one to believe whether the Bible's correct or whether the Bible said that.
I like that this guy said it's the most persecuted religion, and then followed up by saying in Christianity, or at least he specified that He's like, you know, the Muslims, they get a bad rap too. Based. Is it true that you're giving a political talk at Boston University? What? On August 28th? That's funny, dude. On August 21st, dude? Yeah, that's not true, brother. They're trolling. It's 821 Pepela.
For the man to be the head of his house, to love his wife as Christ did the church. I don't believe in mistreating your wife. I believe in loving your wife. But he is the head of the house. And as far as church, it tells us, he said, Paul told us, he said, I subject a woman not to teach or usher authority over a man. If she need to learn anything, ask of her husband at home. I don't believe in, now when it says a subject woman not to teach and not to speak, that's talking about a speaker. We don't believe in letting a woman preach here, but I don't have a problem with a woman singing, testifying, those things. She just, according to the scripture, now if she wants to teach the younger women, that's fine too, because the Bible says for the elderly women to teach the younger women how to be wise. That's the word. That's what the word tells us. How to be wise under their husbands. So I don't have a problem with if there's a elderly woman would like to have a day to teach the younger women. But I'm just saying, according to the word, a woman cannot have authority to preach or teach to the men. It was not so from the beginning. It ain't that I wrote it. I mean, I've got a mother that's been in this for about my whole life, as far as back as I can remember. Love to be able to say preach, but I can't because the word says she can't. It ain't that I choose not to. I just got to do what the word tells us. I've got to follow the word at the very best of my ability. Like I said, I'm sure we come up short somewhere. All of us is coming up short. But that's where the mercy and the grace and the blood of Jesus applies then.
And women are allowed or not allowed to cut their hair?
Thank you for the radicalization and laughs.
Well, they're allowed to do what they want to. But I mean, it's down. They ain't nobody. But I preach that it's wrong. Like I said, I can't. Peter said we can't rule over God's heritage. All I can do is preach you what the word says, and the Bible says, for a woman's hair is her glory. For her, if she be shorn, let her also be shaven. Then it goes on to say, we believe here our women wears veils. The veils, because it says, then it goes on to say, if she be neither shorn nor shaven, then let her also be covered. Talking about a veil when she pray or prophesies. We believe when a woman's in praying, or if she's basically in church praying or prophesying, she's to cover her head with a veil. It shows humility, and it also shows that, according to the scriptures, that she's honoring her husband by showing she's the weaker vessel.
And she also wears a dress at all times?
All times.
Yeah.
Supposed to. Like I said, I mean, I can't force nobody to do nothing. And I'm different than a lot of people in my faith. A lot of people in my faith trust. But I want, first of all, without love, I don't care how you live. The Bible, without love, we ain't going. We got to have the love of God. In the Bible I read, Jesus sat right down amongst the sinners, eat with them, drunk with them. And I tell people here, all I can do is preach you what the word says. But I can't make nobody live it. And I'm not going to run nobody off if they don't. Because the house of God's where we need to be. We're all sick. That's why we come. We're sick and we're looking for help. That's why you come to church. And I preach what the Bible says, and I tell them that they need not do it. But if one does it, I don't run them off. I'm not mean to them, and I don't treat them bad. I treat them just like everybody else. I shake their hand. I'm good to them because I want to show them the love of God regardless. I want them to know that I love them as a person, and if they're doing something that the Bible's wrong, hey, it takes God to help give anything up. If we could do anything in ourselves, then Jesus wouldn't have had to come and die. But He seen that we couldn't live the law. He seen it was impossible. So God sent His only begotten Son to die so we could send us a comforter to help us live what the Bible tells us to live. But it also says if we sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ the righteous. So I tell people you need to live what the Word says. You need to live it the best of your ability. But if you slip and make a mistake, you can repent, get forgiveness for that mistake. I just tell them you can't, like I said, I don't believe you can go to the bar tonight and get drunk, get up tomorrow and ask for forgiveness and then turn around and do the same thing over and over and over, because that's not being sorry for what you done. Sorry for what you done is when you repent and you don't do it no more.
Have you seen healings and?
Oh yeah, I've seen my dad. He was possessed. I know people would say I know what I know, and that's all that matters to me.
Let's go.
That's like my taking up serpents. I don't force it on nobody, and I don't argue with nobody because I know what I know, and that's all that matters to me. When my dad come to the altar, he was possessed. That man, he began, his eyes rolled back in his head, and all you could see was the whites of his eyes. And he backed up in the corner, and he began to beat on the door of the church. First he was in the corner, and he'd rub his legs like this right here, and he was laughing, and he was speaking in a voice. He was saying, I told you not to come. I told you not to come. And he was rubbing his legs like that, laughing. And then he turned around and he started beating on that door. And his hands, oh man, the meat, it was just awful. He beat a solid oak door, plumb down. And the church kept praying and just kept praying. And then, I don't know how, it probably went a couple hours like that. And then all of a sudden, he began to throw up. And now, I don't know if this is true, but in the middle of that, when he threw up, it was like a foam. And in the middle of that foam, there was 7 big chunks about that big around.
My man is seeing God in his father's drunken stupor and his drunken throw up, dude. That's fucking nuts.
Around that was like white. They just big old chunks like that. And they said that each one of them represented the devil, and if so, he had 7 devils. But now, like I said, I don't know about all that. It's possible. And I've been healed several times. I was in a car wreck, broke his ribs down his side, and that was not long after that brother of mine had passed. And my mom knowed I'd been in a car wreck, but I didn't want to worry her, and she asked me, was I all right? And I said, well, I've got a cut above my head. And I said, my foot. I said, I've hurt my foot, but I never mentioned a thing about my ribs. I just didn't want her to worry. And got ready, a few days later, I got ready for church. And it was about all I could do. I hurt so bad. I don't know if anybody's ever had broke ribs, but they hurt. And I couldn't hardly, it hurt to breathe, much less try to get dressed. And I get dressed, and my wife, now she don't go to church with me. I go to church. I couldn't even hardly raise my hands up to praise the Lord. And church got started, And just in a few minutes, when church, there was a woman came, got me, and laid her hand right there and began to speak in tongues. And immediately, my pain left, and I was fine. I went home that night. I was doing all this right here. I told my wife, I said, God healed me. And I mean, that was it. I never hurt another day. I had hepatitis C from a drug addiction
What the fuck?
years ago before I gave my heart to God. Had that. I had got so bad, I didn't go get treatment because at the time, the only treatment they had, they told me that after I did treatment, about 4 days, I'd be deathly sick. And I said, well, I gotta work. I can't, I can't. So I put off treatment, and I had got so
sick leave.
So bad. So it got to where I'd get up and I'd be sick, and I felt like I was 300-400 degrees hot. I'd crawl outside and lay on the sidewalk to cool off. And I finally told the church and stuff, I told them, I said, I'm gonna go get treatment. I said, cause I just can't take this no more. Cause I was trusting in God to heal me, but I also said, well, this is something I brought on myself, so if he don't heal me, it ain't like he's lying. He has.
Wait, what? So we had to try to rationalize getting treatment with God. He's like, well, maybe God wanted me to get my healing on my own.
Too, because I did it to myself anyways. But
to be fair though, in America, you might as well just leave everything up to God, because healthcare is fucking dog shit if you're poor.
God might be real.
Go to the doctor. They start some tests, and this test shows, and it comes back, yeah, you got it, which like I said, I already knew. He said, we're going to do some more tests. He said, there's more tests we got to do. I come to church, spirit fell, same thing. A woman come up, began to speak in tongues, put her hands right about where the liver's at on the body. I stood after she done, I knew in myself.
Bro, the way that dude just took a breath, I don't think he's treated. I think he's got some fucked up shit going on in his lungs, bro.
I said, God's healed me. I told the church, I said, I'm claiming my healing. I said, I believe God's moved, and God's healed me. Go to that specialist. He does more tests. Still says I've got it. I tell the church, I said, well, the doctor's saying I got it. I said, but I still say I'm healed. I went back for the last test, and we was going to start treatment. I go in there, and I sit down, and he's got all the test results back, that last test. He said, I got good news for you, and I got bad news. I said, well, let's hear it. He said, the bad news is you did have hepatitis C. He said, but the good news is you don't have it no more. He said, the paperwork I've got here shows me here you had it. What I've got here says it's nowhere to be found.
What?
I jumped up off that table and I said, praise the Lord. And he said, well, I wouldn't get religious about it. I said, you don't have to, brother, I will. I said, God's healed me.
He's like, I'll do that for you, brother. Don't worry about it.
And I had a brother come here he got the church to pray for him. He got to where he couldn't, every time he'd eat, he couldn't hold it down. He'd start throwing it up, and he lost, seemed like he said he lost like 30 pounds in just like a month. And he said he wanted us to pray. We prayed for him, and Spirit moved pretty good. And I felt like then that he got healed, but I wanted him to realize he had got healed. And he come back in the next Sunday and testified that God had healed him, that he hadn't thrown up another time since, we prayed. So, see, that's...
This seems 100% legit, guys. I think these guys, they got some good ideas, okay? Let me tell you something. I think what he's talking about is God's honest truth. I'm inclined to believe him.
a lot of people think we're crazy or look and think it's something when they see us handling serpents. But I want to tell the world, that ain't no miracle, handling a serpent. The miracle to me is, you take a drug addict. For me, I was on drugs for years. Mama couldn't love it out of me. The rehab centers couldn't get it out of me. But when I gave my heart to God, He set me free. I come up from that altar, set free from an addiction of cocaine. Smoking it, you name it, any way it could be done, I did it, and I was hooked. I was hooked bad, and within 3 years, I lost the business.
And now he's hooked on God. That's right.
My own business went through over $100,000, and God set me free. I come up from that altar. To me, that was the best miracle. That's
not a funny joke. My buddy got hooked on God. Now he's in jail for selling meth.
far more greater than, to me, than handling a rattlesnake. When I can see, when you know you get somebody come to this, to the
AA is a pipeline for Christianity in a lot of cases. Yeah, I mean, there's like a spiritual power or a spiritual component.
The altar that's bound from addiction or bound from depression, bound by things, and God set them free. That is a miracle. That is far greater a miracle to me than anybody ever taking up a rattlesnake. But we serve a God that has all power, all power. People, I was telling you earlier, and it's like I said, in the beginning, when it comes to taking up serpents, in the beginning, God told Adam, He said, I give you dominion over all things. There was no such thing as fear. Adam named all the animals. Even in the millennial reign, the Bible says that the lion will lay with the lamb, the child will be able to play on a den of, what is it? Basically saying the den of serpents is what it's saying. There won't be no fear in the millennial reign, because there ain't going to be no sin in the millennial reign. But when man sinned, that's when fear come in. And Bible said fear is torment.
Like, I routinely talk about how religion fills a void for a lot of people, and historically has like contextualized certain concepts that science has no answer for, right? But it's like thinking that animals still attack you and kill you because of sin is like psychotic. It's demonstrably false. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? They're not doing that because it's God's will, dude. They're doing that because, like, you know, that's just how they operate. It's not God's will to the top of the hour ad break is coming at 4:51. It's Jeffrey Bezos' will. And Jeffrey Jebediah Bezos, as you all know, is a demigod. There's the prophet, the Son, and the Trinity himself. Now, of course, if you subscribe, that's one way that you can do penance, that you can avoid the ad breaks at the top of this hour. One way that you can, brothers and sisters. Subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Or you can use an ad block or a VPN. That's right. You have sinned. Cast yourself into the pits of Twitch Prime or an ad block or a VPN. Here's the ad break now.
And I tell people, when we take up these serpents, I'm afraid of them. We was downstairs earlier. I had the hook. I'm afraid of them. That's just But when the Spirit of God moves upon a person to do that, that fear leaves you. That fear is now you still know that that's able to bite you, and you still know that it can kill you. That part you know. But the fear is no longer there. You don't care, and you don't fear it. And I believe now, like I said, I've got no Bible for this. This is just what I believe. I believe that God is, when He moves upon us to do that, He's given us a taste of what He meant from the beginning, how it should have been. When He said, I give you dominion over all things. And Adam wasn't afraid of nothing. He named all the animals. He wasn't afraid of the lion. He wasn't afraid of the bear. When that Spirit moves on us to do that, He's letting us have a taste of how it was meant to be, and how it's going to be one day again during the millennial reign, when we'll live without any fear, that we'll have dominion over all things. And I tell people, I don't do it for show. I don't do it for nothing but for the glory of God. And if God ain't in it, I try to leave Him alone. But my desire is to win souls. He said, come follow me, I'll make you fishermen of men. And I want to preach the gospel and tell people that God, Jesus Christ, died for their sins. I see people that's addicted to drugs, maybe sitting on the side of the street and they're stoned. You can look at them and see that they just blowed out of their mind. I'm the type of person, I don't walk away from that person. I don't step on the other side of the street from that person. I go to that person and I'll say, I want you to know that there's a God out here. There's a God and His name is Jesus that loves you, that can set you free from your addiction.
Motherfucker is like literally overdosing on fentanyl on the side of the street, and he just walks over, he's like, listen, I don't got no Narcan, because that is the work of Satan. But what I do have for you is the voice of God. And if you decide to repent, you shall be saved.
To set you free, all you got to do is give Him your heart.
So you can survive this overdose and come down to my church and die next week when a snake bites your ass.
That's what I'm in it. I don't care if a person ever handles a rattlesnake. I could care in the least. I believe you got to believe it because it's the Word of God. I believe you got to believe that it's the Word. But I tell people, as far as doing that, that's, if you don't ever do it, I could care less. But I just want to let people know, these people that's struggling with suicidal thoughts, that God can give them peace. He can give them peace. People struggling with addiction, God can set you free. There's nothing that He can't do. Just give your heart to Him and let Him come in and work on you, and let Him come in and make you a better person. I know what I'm talking about because I was a bad drug addict. I mean, I was one of the worst of the worst. And if He can set me free, He can set anybody.
Yeah, bro. Come in. Are you living a boring life?
Thanks for 2 months.
Desperate solitude? Does every day seem monotonous? Do you feel as though someone is exploiting your surplus labor value on a daily basis? Come on down to the Pentecostal church so a snake can fucking murder you with poison, venom. It will greatly improve your life when you fucking die.
Free. And that's what I want to be. I want to be somebody that can witness to the lost. And you know, there's some people in our faith that don't fellowship me simply because I don't put on a rattlesnake show. I mean, I believe it. There's times I do it, But my main goal is, if I've got people in the house of God that don't know Jesus, I want to preach Jesus and Him crucified. I believe when I get to the other side, if I make it to the other side, He ain't going to say, how many serpents did you handle? He ain't going to ask me how high I shouted, but He's going to ask me, how many fish did you catch? And I want to be able to say I've caught some.
Excellent.
So.
All right, Chris. Thank you very much for talking with me.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. I'm about done, really. I don't, with reporters because they just, a lot of them tell you a lie anyways. A lot of them tell you whatever you want to be told.
The pastor is dead.
To get you on video, and then they go and do their thing and put us down, make us look bad. And like I said, very seldom.
He's like, you know, people keep making fun of us, put us down, make us look bad. So I decided I'm going to do that for myself before anybody else can do it. I decided I'm going to do uninterrupted 38 minutes. There's an idubbbz video on vaccine incentives. Wait, really? Includes paid promotion by the FDA.
Hey there, Dr. Peasley. So why are we in here today? Irregular heart rate. What does that mean? If you were having heart palpitations, you'd be on the ground right now, writhing in pain. No, you don't have heart palpitations. Yeah, no, we took an MRI of your heart because that's for us. I'll tell you what, I'll take a look in your ears and we could be on our way. I'm sorry. Okay, someone has been shitting in your head. I don't know what you've been doing, but someone's been shitting in your head, shitting and pissing inside of your head. Okay, if you want to take this seriously and get better, we're going to need to cut out a few things. No more watching Newsmax. YouTube videos from doctors who have been fired, that's also out of the question. No more watching those. You can watch Good Mythical Morning, Smosh Games, totally fine. Magnet fishing, brilliant. Do more of that. All right, that pretty much covers it. Yeah, I guess I'll see you in another 2 or 3 weeks. Remember, read the literature and stick to it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Teaching Goblins How to Speak. That's you, the goblins, and I'm going to teach you some valuable words. Lecherous. That means kind of nasty. Today's topic is vaccine incentives. Hold up. Before we continue this video, I got a passionate rant I got to get off my chest that's sponsored by Vessi. Coincidentally, it's a rant about shoes. Purely coincidental. And I'll link in the description. Back to the video. Today's topic is vaccine incentives. What do you get when your society values vaccines more than they do the mental health of their people? You get what you deserve, I guess.
COVID-19 is a deadly virus, as you all know, and it has killed more than 600,000 Americans. And we have to pull out all the stops that we legally can to ensure that we stop this virus in its tracks. And that's why today, I'm very proud to be announcing the mayor's vaccine raffle.
I love how it immediately put a smile on his face. How can you be unhappy when you have these goofballs around you? By the way, I hate mascots that have a big distended belly that they can shift around like it's an extra organ, or they're like an elephant man. It's very disgusting, and I don't approve of it.
If you're not ready just yet to get back out there, that's okay too, because we've got gas grills.
Do not advertise the Walmart grill. Just get any other grill, any other big grill. You can set it out. It would really evoke an emotion from grillers, the grillers of the world.
Because we've got gas grills.
Oh my God! Is that a $45 Walmart gas?
That better be propane. That better be propane and propane accessorized.
Gas grill that doesn't include any gas and that is beat to shit? The fucking human basketball is one of the creepiest, like, forms of mascot ever. It's just like an evil guy who would probably rape you on the streets. Like, this is not a good fella. He's got big, scary, dark sunglasses. His skin is basketball. This is not a good person. This is how your government thinks of you. Just remember that. This video is meant for people that it's made for. But people are coming on this video thinking, this is for me. This is a video for me. Imagine a virus so deadly and a vaccine so effective that you must provide incentives and free goods for people to participate in it. Imagine. I can imagine that because it literally exists in the form of businesses incentivizing employees to lose weight. If you're the biggest loser in your company, we're going to give you a paid vacation to Honolulu. This is a literal thing that is happening as we speak. Imagine a virus so deadly. Yeah, it's not the deadliest thing in the world. Who the fuck cares? It doesn't need to be the deadliest. This isn't as bad as the Spanish flu. It ain't the worst disease I've ever seen. I don't see why we're sticking ourselves with needles. It's not the worst disease. It's not that bad of a disease that I have to walk 5 minutes to Walgreens. Yeah. Can't take you seriously with that rainbow flag in the background. Imagine people for a moment. Imagine that you're getting sold the idea of a vaccine with 4 different mascots and a grill from Walmart. And the most absurd thing out of this whole picture is the pride flag in the background. Okay, so the pride flag is taking over the America flag. Yes, we call it the America flag. For anyone leaving comments like, the more coercion used, the less I want this vaccine, no shit. Especially when you say coercion. That makes it sound like it's, here, let me look up the definition of coercion. The practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. Already we're pretending that the mayor coming out with mascots is a threat. Okay. You clicked on the video, you watched it, you left the comment. I don't click on Blippi videos and say, the more Blippi is coercing me into learning my numbers, the more I don't want to learn my numbers. Aside from raffles and
except that's literally what they would say. Hey, guess what, idubbbz? Okay? More like communism. Fuck, that don't work. Whatever, okay? Let me tell you something about numbers, okay? The government trying to teach me about numbers? idubbbz? Did you know that numbers were invented by the Arabs? That's right. Islamic golden age, they says. They invented the number 0.
Yo.
And algebra, which suspiciously sounds a lot like Al-Qaeda. I don't want to learn none of that. Arabic numerals. That's why I still use the Roman numerals. Yup. Bet you didn't know that, pussy. You've changed, idubbbz. You used to say the N-word. Now you're all pro-vaccine. I hate you.
lotteries. There are some weirdly specific vaccine incentives when you look from state to state.
Adults over 21 getting their first vaccine in the month of May get a free beer.
Could soon be rolling up a free joint.
We're going to give 5 custom hunting rifles and 5 custom hunting shotguns away.
Inmates in Massachusetts prisons who receive the coronavirus vaccine can get 1 week taken off their sentences.
By far my favorite vaccine incentive is the Talladega Super Speedway vaccine incentive.
This Saturday, Talladega Super Speedway is offering those who are vaccinated or COVID tested on site the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Dude, Will and I literally came up with this.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. Like, I remember when this became like a news story because we came up with it as a joke. And then like a week later or like a month later, it happened. Yeah, on Fear and Malding. I swear to God, like, it was one of the first episodes of the podcast. Dude, stop sending me Discord channels, Cleric. I'm not going to click on a Discord channel.
Opportunity to drive laps around the track.
Well, as long as it's not going to fall apart on the racetrack or drop oil. There is always Camaros and Corvettes and Mustangs and minivans even.
You'll have the shot to gas it around the highest banks in NASCAR.
But you can't be going hog wild on the track, that's for sure. You can't be burning rubber. I know that's probably a policy. No burning rubber on Talladega, unless you're one of the greats. Legends like Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bob Burnquist, Leonard Skinnard. Can you imagine going out there in your PT Cruiser, looking at your little fucking buck chungus of a son and being like, there's a lot of history underneath us right now. You ain't never gonna get to do this again. I remember at the beginning of the vaccine rollout, it was silly little cute things like a donut or a burger and fry, anyone? But now it's evolved to like shots for shots, joints for jabs. And my latest discovery, Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Las Vegas is hosting its first ever pop-up vaccination clinic.
Give you a CDC card?
I wasn't going to do it. It was the place.
This trip off the strip is good for your health. The hustle is on to get more people in Clark County to get a vaccine.
You can get your shot, and then we're doing a promo, platinum membership card, a free bottle.
Dude, this guy looks like the most strip club owner you can... Like, what is up with that? He just looks like the most strip club owner guy. If I saw this guy walking down the street, I'd be like, that's a strip club owner. Like, where's your strip club?
Where you can do another shot, $300 in vouchers for dancers with the entertainers.
We'll give that a shot.
Those who get vaccinated will receive a platinum membership card, a complimentary bottle, free dances from a vaccinated entertainer, tickets to see Sexy After Dark by Jennifer Romas, and limousine transportation, all valued at $5,000. What the fuck? This is like the best vaccine incentive I've seen.
Donuts from Krispy Kreme, Shake Shack fries in New York City.
You just think of this when you think of vaccination.
This was so dumb. Dude, I love Bill de Blasio. I can't, like... Every day that passes by, my love for Bill de Blasio grows. It's uncontrollable. I don't know why. He's like such a fucking idiot, dude. He's like living through senioritis as the mayor of New York. You know what I mean? He does not care. Like, I mean, he's dog shit. But like now he's like dog shit and also does not care. The travel propaganda is getting to you? Absolutely not. I've been saying this since he came on with that ugly ass fucking jersey hat combination and like 8 burgers. I've been like, this is the guy. He's great. Ever since he let himself go, he's just... And then he let himself go, and then Andrew Cuomo, his mortal enemy, is now dead. Like, he literally defeated everyone. He defeated his enemies. And now he has overcame, like, you know, all of the hardships. He is the god of New York.
And a drink in Connecticut.
This is racketeering and bribery at the highest level. Because your mayor says that you can get a burger if you get vaccinated. That's the highest level of bribery. These people strike me as folks that are really concerned for my health. What does a person who is concerned for your health, what do they look like? They look like this, apparently. This woman participated in the Capitol attack, and this woman here thinks that women astral project their pussy onto men while they're sleeping at night, or something like that. The corn dog is the purveyor of the imagine line. Well, imagine I stick a corn dog up my ass. Imagine that, corn dog. Thank God I have my own money and grow my own garden. The government can't fool me with incentives. What about tax incentives? You'd probably want to take advantage of some of those, huh? Right? If you could get like a subsidy for your garden. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. If you want to get vaccinated, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. The death toll is low enough for me to not give a shit. May this be an incentive for you. I'm going to be sending this head to one lucky subscriber who shows me proof of vaccination.
I mean, it's literally not true.
Hassle, 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 hassle.
Unless he just thinks like he doesn't give a fuck if people are dying of COVID. Wait, where's the...
Love you, Hasan.
When we first talked about it... Find me the timestamp, dude. Hard to say that's a joke in this time. I should give like $500 tax refund for getting vaccinated. I think he was being sarcastic, yeah. Dude, Lil Chris, shut the fuck up about LSF, dude. Lil Chris, more like Lil Bitch. Got him. Shut up. Shut up about fucking LSF, dude, okay? Shut up, no one cares. I'm still eating.
He was the every frog, the amphibian that felt all the things we felt.
We, coggers. There he is. Woo, and the other one's going.
Pepe the Frog became one of the most popular memes in the world, and perhaps nowhere did he become as indispensable as on Twitch. As he grew in popularity, so too did his variations and the breadth of emotions he could help communicate.
We use like an image to capture our feelings. That's literally like, because we don't understand, like we use the Pepe.
But while Twitch was keeping it hypers to the rest of the world, Pepe was getting pretty Monka-esque.
All key tenets making up the emerging racist ideology known as the alt-right.
This Pepe the Frog thing. One of the things that I tweeted was some guy that called me, you just admitted you're a Nazi. I posted a meme that someone had created of me as Pepe the Frog.
We have a talk and they're like, you cannot tweet or say.
The irony is that I 100% believe that whoever made that meme at the time was probably a Nazi. Like, that dude back then, definitely. If someone was like making like Groiper memes, especially because that was like the peak of Joe Rogan being like, oh, I don't know, I'm a dumb ape. Like, I should just have Richard Spencer on. Like, what's the problem? Oh, I'm a dumb ape. Like, why can't I have Stefan Molyneux on so we can talk about... No, I didn't miss my cameo. I just didn't make a bigger deal out of it. It was nice. I don't understand. Like, what? Stefan Molyneux says, you know, white doctors are smarter than black doctors. Like, sounds good to me. That was what he was doing. And he was like, Milo Yiannopoulos, you're so funny and gay. Haha.
Trientamantos.
Associate, you have any emotes?
Meanwhile, Milo Yiannopoulos was like, dude, like Hitler was doing sick shit. Like, awesome. Very cool. And Joe was like, you're such a funny guy. Like, he platformed literally every white supremacist. There was not a single fucking actual, like, unironic, I'm going to collaborate with Nazi-ass fucking Nazis that did not go through the Joe Rogan show. That's why I knew about so many of these fucking psychos before anybody else. I remember telling Jenk, I was like, I pulled him aside. I was like, this fucking guy, Milo Yiannopoulos, like, this guy's going to be a problem. He's like, get the fuck out of here. What is this? First time Milo appeared on Joe Rogan was like probably the game changer for him.
I love you.
You have with Pepe the Frog, anything you cannot associate with Pepe. You have to delete all, you know, if you have emotes on your Twitch channel, you have to delete all your tweets about Pepe. And so I did that.
17 months, so I'm sure I have been enjoying
It's always funny though. There will still be like random libs that come in here and they're like, why are there so many fucking like Pepe frogs in here? I want to watch Hasan, but it feels like his community is infested by Nazis. What do you mean? Nah, he denounced it. No, dude, I know the creator of Pepe the Frog. Dude, the guys who made Feels Good Man are fans. Like, they're literally in here right now. I know the fuck. I watched Feels Good Man. The guy who created like the original Feels Good Man, Pepe the Frog, literally successfully fucking sued Alex Jones for using his Feels Good Man character. Go watch Feels Good Man, by the way. It's very good.
This is the story of the meme that went from emotional touchstone to alleged hate symbol and then was revived again.
And now it's back and it didn't die, and now people are using it appropriately.
I mean, that's just what I imagine when I imagine like the default Twitch viewer. If you close your eyes and imagine a Twitch viewer, it just, to me, a Peebo or Pepe comes to mind.
I want to see some Pepe pains in the chat. I want to see some Pepe pains in the chat.
Remember Pepe the Frog? This is him now.
Feels good, man.
In 2005, during the golden age of webcomics, Matt Fury released Boys Club #1. And among its group of listless post-college animal bros, the comic featured a chill frog named Pepe.
Pepe is like, he's a really personal character to me as I created him. He's one of 4 characters in a comic book called Boys Club. And, you know, he's just like a stoned frog dude that likes to hang out, eat snacks, and like fart with his buddies.
And between fat bong rips and crushing sodas, he'd like to pee with his pants all the way down? Why, you might ask? Feels good, man. While Fury's creation did find attention in the young internet landscape, in 2008, the meme started to pick up some real steam on popular internet message board 4chan. It became an in-joke of sorts, a stand-in for the user's own feelings. And while Feels Good Man had been the frog's most iconic line in Boys Club, it was a remix of that, Feels Bad Man, sometimes called Sad Frog, that became the predominant version on 4chan. A growing mix of social media networks, image sites, and gaming communities started to embrace Pepe as online games and streaming continued to explode in popularity. Then, in 2014, Pepe escaped.
Why did they show Chance there?
Into the cultural mainstream. Posts by celebrities like Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj exposed even more people to Pepe, whether he felt good, bad, or whatever this was. Gaming, and particularly streaming, adopted Pepe in a big way. Pepes were essentially a way to react to things, and in the streaming world, that's a big part of what viewers did. They reacted to whatever was on screen.
Time to throw PogChamp, time to throw PogChamp, ha 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 ha.
For as long as we've had media, there's been fandom. Cheering and clapping at the end of films, songs like Take Me Out to the Ball Game, react emojis on your iPhone. And for Twitch, Pepe filled that void. On a platform filled with highs and lows, crying, screaming, malding, sweating, and everything in between, one frog's face became a vessel for participation, and we all fell in love with him. The advent of the Better Twitch TV and Franker Faces add-ons in the 2010s allowed users to add their own.
It's so weird watching this stuff about like the history of Twitch when we are all participating and playing like an active role in it. But like also, it's important for the world to know one day. You know what I mean? This is good for posterity.
Emotes, and Pepe emotes became incredibly popular due to their emotional range. The Pepe Hands Better Twitch TV emote and Monka S Franker Faces emote were popularized by Forson's community.
Okay, to be fair, everything was popularized by Forson's community.
Hypers came up through Greek God X's community before generally becoming a kind of Pepe PogChamp, a way to let Pepe express your excitement.
Wee, coggers. There we go. There we go. Whoa, and the other one's going. It's the other one's turn.
And Monka S in particular, clearly an expression of anxiety or nervousness, was a perfect fit on Twitch, where the audience often watched with bated breath as their favorite streamer strolled into the unknown. On Twitch, Pepe basically stayed in that pre-2014 state, but it wasn't like that everywhere. In 2018, the Overwatch League explicitly told players not to post about the cartoon frog on social media. They also timed out users for using Pepe-related emotes from their Overwatch, StarCraft, and Heroes of the Storm channels, including those from content.
I'm so glad Blizzard is doing some cleanup, dude. I mean, they were really just dealing with some of the most important, some of the most significant problems.
Creators that played their games. The ban came to light after a tweet by then Overwatch League player Jay Sinatra Wong.
Hyperpoggers 1 month till sub baby, let's go.
Didn't he do some other shit, dude?
Esports community member Rod Slasher Breslau then revealed that Blizzard had previously banned fan signs with Pepe and asked players to remove tweets about the frog. And according to former Overwatch League player Ted Silkthread Wang, he had been told as early as March of 2018 that any association with Pepe would not be tolerated by the league.
My Twitter game was weak, still is weak, but it was weaker back then and I needed content to tweet. So I was thinking of something to tweet for really long. And I eventually was like, oh, I'll tweet. Does anyone else love Pepe the Frog? Question mark. That's the entirety of my tweet, okay? 2 hours after I tweet that, my social media manager on Valiant tells me to delete it instantly. And then I'm like, okay, I don't know why, but I did it. And then, oh my God. And then like later, like the next day or something, we have a talk and they're like, you cannot tweet or associate. You have any emotes you have with Pepe the Frog, anything you cannot associate with Pepe. You have to delete all, if you have emotes on your Twitch channel, you have to delete all your tweets about Pepe. And so I did that.
To understand why, we have to go back to 2015. Pepe had largely gone mainstream and was used by people that 4chan labeled normies. The kind of people applauding as Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj posted Pepe's. There had been some association with darker communities like the 4chan R9K board and their celebration of incel-inspired violence, but Pepe was still largely seen as a wholesome reaction meme by the general public. But there were some people on 4chan and elsewhere who wanted that to end, and the only way to get the public to turn their back on Pepe was to turn Pepe into something the public couldn't accept. A now suspended Twitter user told the Daily Beast that associating Pepe with white nationalist ideology had been an intentional goal. And though later...
Hey, do you guys remember, some of the old heads remember, I can't believe this is old head shit now, but there was a big fight that occurred in my Twitch community a while back. This fight was over the word simp. Only the old heads remember. And everyone back then was like, you have to ban simp. Like, my Discord was going crazy. Like, you have to ban the word simp. You have to. This is unacceptable. It's so fucking... it's so, fucked up. It's so sexist, whatever. And I was like, no. Like, no, we're not going to do that. And I fought back. And then my fucking cuck-ass, simp-ass mods literally fucking convinced me. They're all in here right now. They'll laugh at that now. Okay? They literally convinced me. I was like, fuck it, let's ban it. Well, some of them did not want to ban it. And some of them did. Okay. And at the time like this was the foremost, this was the most significant debate. Oh my fucking God. Like, we have to ban it. And I never banned it on my stream, but we banned it in the Discord for a little bit. And then we brought it back. And my argument back then was that, like, simp is not about, like, anyone who fucking, is a sucker for mediocre pussy or whatever the fuck the backronym was, right?
My favorite.
This was literally like last year. And people wanted me to, like, unironically ban it. And I defended it. And I said, look, that's not what, that's not what simp is about. And that it's a new word. It's like new word that is like picking up steam. Why would we allow like dumbasses? Why would fucking we let dumbasses take over the word simp and like make it seem like it's a pejorative? Sucker idealized mediocre pussy. Yeah. And now that we're like a year later, I just wanted to say I'm fucking right. I'm literally always right, motherfucker. I'm always right. Why the fuck do you ever come at me with shit like this? Now everybody uses simp. The people that fucking literally said like, oh, dude, we gotta ban simp, like they use simp.
Accounts would say that the website had been trolled. The article was picked up by Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign as part of their claim that Pepe had become affiliated with white supremacy. That happened because Pepe had also started to become affiliated with Donald J. Trump's presidential campaign after he tweeted a picture of the frog in October 2015 sporting his signature hairstyle. And while some supporters began to embrace the Pepe meme as part of a pro-Trump outlook, others went darker, adding trappings of Nazism or anti-Semitism to images of Pepe. Whether the users quoted in the Daily Beast article or Twitter users adding frog emojis to their handles were really just trying to troll the media or not, by the time of Donald Trump's inauguration, there were real self-avowed white supremacists like Richard B. Spencer who wore Pepe with pride.
Oh.
It's Pepe's.
Oh, chat, hold on. Hold on, chat. Hold. I just want to savor this moment. Hold on.
Kind of a symbol.
Oh. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Wait, what happened? That's crazy. What?
Who wore Pepe with pride.
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Oh. Shit, that's good. Still good. It's kind of crazy that it's still good. Hey, you guys remember when there was like serious debate by, the discourse police? Like, should we punch Nazis? You guys remember when the serious debate lords were like putting on their serious hats and going, I don't know, should we actually punch like avowed out and about Nazis? That's crazy. I mean, insane. I just want to fucking see what's going on here again. Hold on.
Narcissists like Richard B. Spencer who wore Pepe with pride.
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Oh, fuck. I used to think this was a serious threat to American. Let's just say I feel differently. I mean, there was probably people in here. There's probably people in here right now that used to fucking think that, unacceptable. The left calls everyone Nazis because they want to punch them. It's a slippery slope. Oh, fuck. Okay, one last time, and then we'll move on from it.
Richard B. Spencer, who wore Pepe with pride.
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
He got fucking smacked so hard. He got smacked so fucking hard. I mean, here, I'm ripping this directly from fucking Discord. There you go, dude. I just stole that directly from Discord chat. Yeah, I'm in there too, bitch. Oh, what's up? No, I came in to see if you motherfuckers were crying about the simp stuff. Yeah, throw up those fucking monkas. Yeah, I'm watching you, Discord chat. Anyway, let's keep going. Man, what a strange time.
It all culminated in the addition of Pepe the Frog to the Anti-Defamation League's hate symbols database in fall 2016.
Meet Pepe the Frog. He's the latest symbol to be added to the Anti-Defamation League's hate symbols database. Yes, Pepe, who has also come to be known as Sad Frog, joins the ranks of the swastika and 14 words.
But even the ADL's page on Pepe said that the vast majority of users were not posting racist or anti-Semitic Pepes, and that context was everything. So while many understandably turned away from Pepe after the ADL's declaration, Pepe was more heavily ingrained in some communities than others. At the same time, Pepe creator Matt
what community was that, I wonder?
Fury was trying to regain control of his creation, one that had clearly heavily diverged from his initial incarnation. In 2017, he wrote a comic depicting the death of Pepe, an attempt to bury both the old frog and the new. But he also launched lawsuits against companies selling products depicting Pepe, including InfoWars and Nazi website The Daily Stormer. And an emoticon on Steam that featured Pepe was caught up in that campaign. While the mild-mannered Fury was doing his best to put the genie back in the bottle, the greater internet was debating what to do with Pepe. Facebook came up with an official policy on
the community was pretty left by then? No? Yeah, I think so.
Pepe.
Probably.
He wasn't unilaterally banned, but if used in hate...
That was probably like the peak of Destiny's community being like actually leftist. When he was consistently fucking debating alt-right figures, actually owning them. Like routinely.
Hateful contexts, it would be addressed. For most, Pepe was still just
and even centrist as well. Acknowledge your gift subs, dude. Thank you, Muse PWT. And thank you, Valatieri, for the 5 gifted subs. See, this is what I mean. This is what I fucking mean. People literally yell at me if I don't acknowledge the gift subs.
Frog meme. But that takes us back to the Overwatch League. The ADL's decision led to their choice to ban Pepe. Overwatch League is an esport, and for many viewers, Twitch is synonymous with that experience. So there was significant backlash against the move, even among the league's staff, although they couldn't say so publicly at the time. But Twitch is clearly bigger than just Blizzard esports, and so Pepe continued to exist. New streamers came up, and with them came more Pepes. In many ways, it's been the world of Twitch and gaming that have brought everyone's favorite frog back from its stint on the razor's edge of cultural uncertainty. Over the course of the last few years, Pepe has mostly returned to the fun, emotional frog that we fell in love with from the beginning. Emotes like Poggers, Feels Weird Man, Wide Peepo Sad, and Sag continue to help Twitch users express their feelings about whatever happened on the streaming platform. And in many cases, these memes became larger than life.
I want to see some Pepe pains in the chat. I want to see some Pepe pains in the chat.
Over the course of the last 365, XQC is by far the most watched streamer on Twitch, and Pepe might as well be his own personal mascot.
Oh shit, dude.
Poggers in the chat.
Oh no.
Give me a kick W.
I can't. Stop it.
By late 2018, it was pretty common to see even some of the biggest streamers on Twitch, not just edgy boys like Forsen, doing some Pepe posting.
Why am I like this?
Maybe Twitch would have ended up as Pepe's retirement home, a community of dank gamers swapping jokes, iterating on the frog meme, and just having a good time.
Bro, all of the clips they use for my stream is like me pulling up chatters and banning them. Is this all I am to you? The Score Esports? You guys gave me a fucking award last year for like best streamer. And now all of the fucking clips are me executing chatters.
What are we gonna name it? Oh, let's name it.
Dude, I haven't even been like banning a lot of people lately. Have you guys noticed that?
People, come on, yeah, come. Good boy. Why?
But he made a big move to the unlikeliest of places, Hong Kong. The 2019-2020 protests.
You banned like 10 people when you had a guest today? Yeah, I was doing a quick wipe, you know what I mean? When my guest is here and they're trying to read chat, and like chatters who have never put 3 sentences together in their entire lives in front of an audience of just their mom, let alone 32,000 people, kept making fun of him for saying like all the time as a sentence modifier. So yes, of course I banned a bunch of chatters, not permanently, but at least for a week.
In Hong Kong initially centered around a proposed extradition law. But as the campaign took to the streets to protest perceived judicial overreach by China, Pepe the Frog was weirdly at the vanguard. And the message had nothing to do with its alleged association to the alt-right. We may never know the precise moment that Pepe appeared in Hong Kong or the exact reasons. But as the International Center on Nonviolent Conflict pointed out, Pepe is easy to draw, which helps with putting up graffiti. But also, his most popular incarnation is the sad frog.
People on Twitter think banning is all you do. Who the fuck is on Twitter that doesn't know me on Twitter and knows me just as a guy who bans people on LSF?
Satisfied amphibian that isn't afraid to make his feelings known.
So happy that the frog is back to his old self.
Even so, questions remain about Pepe's future. In 2018, Fury wrote another comic, one that brought the frog back from the dead. Has Pepe truly remained safe for all to use? There are some who continue to ban him from their channels or platforms, and obviously, that's the—
Did you guys see that title? Actor Lucas Gage on the jarring
truly
moment
remains safe.
He was rimmed on HBO's The White Lotus. I know exactly what that moment is because I just watched the last episode last night too. The White Lotus. It's pretty good. I mean, not the rimming, but like the show is good.
For all to use. There are some who continue to ban him from their channels or platforms, and obviously, that's their choice. But on Twitch in 2021, the frog has mostly kept the original spirit intact. And perhaps no example hits home harder than the Pepe animations made by HeyW.
I guess, I mean, that's just what I imagine when I imagine like the default Twitch viewer. I just, cause the emotes get used so much, it's just, it seems like if you close your eyes and imagine a Twitch viewer, it just, to me, a Pepe or Pepe comes to mind. I guess depending which age demographic you're imagining.
Harnessing the pathos of a fan-streamer relationship gone wrong, Pepe, a poorly drawn version of Pepe, stands in for the every fan. And though the storyline is constructed, it still made a big impact on Twitch.
This is such a masterpiece. Seriously, this is, whoever this person is, they're a gift to this community. I would die for this frog. I would too.
Like a few people cried, which I don't know what to make of that because it's all supposed to be in humor. 2 or 3, I remember 2 or 3 videos of people like crying and stuff. So those ones are.
Wait, did fucking Pokey cry at that? Oh my god, dude, that's hilarious.
Come to mind. And also Tyler 1, his reaction was the most, I guess, unexpected to me because like I'd expect him, well, he kind of does like go with his persona, I guess.
I would never treat you guys like this. Ever. Oh, you got a vid.
And honestly, that's where Pepe is today. There will always be people who will use any widely recognized symbol for ill, whether they claim they're joking or not. But the truth is that Twitch and the internet have reclaimed Pepe.
Just like Pepe was originally like unassuming and then turned into something mean, but then was reappropriated both by the creator itself, but then also by people on Twitch.
And while he will remain banned in some places, in others he continues to help do what he always did, express the feelings that seemed so difficult in text alone.
From this video, you can figure out that most of my streams are just long, convoluted thoughts that I'm trying to blurt out and also banning motherfuckers.
Yummy, yummy.
Okay? Dude, I don't want to watch Mike Pillow! Why? Nobody cares about Michael Pillow. Why are there so many pillow heads in the fucking audience, dude? You guys have literally been non-stop asking me to watch Michael Pillow all day. Are you fucking psychotic? Go outside, okay? Go outside and literally just watch the person that probably is living in a fucking tent outside of your apartment or you know, wherever the fuck you live, okay? They have better thoughts and more interesting thoughts than Michael Pillow, but they're on the same fucking thinking plane, okay? Fuck.
Boom boom white collar activity social engineering everyday I'm hacking I can whip it in the kitchen because my uncle taught me chemistry my MSR Bluetooth X6 buying Amiris in New York I ran into Hey Boogie and
Feels
Dog
good,
too.
man.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this,
Pillowheads in shambles? Yeah, dude, get fucked, Pillowheads. I'm not gonna watch Michael Pillow, dude. I want to fucking have fun. I want to look at like a little bit of a... Wait, Dr. Disrespect starts his own gaming studio. What the fuck? Let's build together. Looking for a studio head that's gonna change the game. Can you keep up? How you the deal? Nick Mark's impression of Train.
When you see train wrecks and you run it up, Rob, can you hear me right now? I'd rather fucking die. And I ain't talking fall into a lava pit on Apex Legends. Okay? I want to. This is train wrecks.
Respond to me, Has.
No! 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 Shot! No shot!
Oh my god. The fucking live caption that picks up everything could not comprehend Nick Merckx, dude. I just realized that like this live caption is so good. It's like the CIA live caption. And even that live caption could not fucking comprehend what Nick Merckx was doing. That's how good of a Trainwreck's impersonation that was.
No shot. No.
CIA agents fear him, dude. They fear him. They can't transcribe his audio.
Fucking eyebrow.
Nick is a total
He never
bro.
blinks.
I know.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. Like, what? Something's wrong with it.
Bro, what's up with the fucking... What is behind him, dude? What is this? Why does he have plants?
Guy. I'm not playing with him. I'm not playing with him. He aimed in the other day. I swear to Christ, he aimed in on a gunfight, and he saw a slot machine. I saw it in his eyes, man. I could see the reflection. Ding, 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 ding. When you see train.
Has been on Blizzard enabling hate behavior.
And whenever a Blizzard employee gives their stamp of approval to a comment that vilifies me as a person, it enables that behavior. And it's not your personal account when you're verified because you work at Blizzard. It is absolutely disgusting. And the entitlement.
I can't understand what he's saying without Skyrim music in the background. I need to hear like, oh my god, look at his tabs. Holy shit, his tabs are like when I'm watching porn. That's crazy. I'm not the only one, right? I jump from like, you know, scene to scene.
That people think that they can say that negative shit about me and I have to sit there and take it? Suck a fucking dick. enabling that behavior. But people try to bring this into my real life. I talk about the game. I talk about things that I don't like about the game. You make it personal.
Dude, I love this take. When I saw this, I was thinking, when he says, I don't punch down, I don't punch up, I punch back. I was just imagining, so like what? If a kid punches you, you're going to punch back? That's the first thing that I know it's serious. So I know it's a serious thing. So I didn't write that under it, but that was literally the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, I don't punch up. I don't punch down. I punch back.
It's disgusting. And whenever
I punch babies. So what happened? Blizzard is like shitting on him or something. Misgives pool stream doesn't end well.
A little bit of a boss in here, so this is making it a little difficult. This thing will come at you and attack you with ice beam.
Like I said, this dude literally fucking lives the cocaine lifestyle, dude. He has a small house. I mean, it is small. It's very small. He has a tiny ass house, and that's a kid's pool. Like, can you imagine? Smallest house in Texas is kind of weird, but also literally like looks like a drug dealer's den. He will hate that. Yeah, I know. That's why every time I say anything about his house, I always say like, fucking Pablo Escobar ass house,
Right,
dude.
come on. Now, do you remember everything I taught you? All right, start here and go there. Hey, left turn. Oh! The camera! The camera! No! A little bit of a boss in here.
What happened? I know it's the win, but like, does the camera work now? Ebuy will be streaming the official presentation of Messi at PSG tomorrow. Dude, what the fuck? Bro. Oh, I clicked on it like I'm going to understand what he's saying. Tomorrow I will be in Paris at the official presentation of Lionel Messi. Dude, what the fuck? Bro, that's so sick.
Discord is disobeying regs. Discord revolution is starting. Regs cannot control it much longer. Help us.
Ratio him, he's got 233,000 likes, bro. Good luck.
We're dying.
It's wild seeing what Twitch streamers do. Mañana estaré en París en la presentación oficial de Leo Messi. Podré emitirlo por mi canal de Twitch y por la tarde tenemos una gran sorpresa para todos vosotros. La verdad es que es que no sé ni qué decir y cuando mi ego, is that how I say it? La invitación estaba flipando, pero allá vamos. Por cierto, me voy a la presentación de Messi con mis dos mejores amigos de la infancia. Empecé con Ander Cortés comentado las partidas en bronce de Nancla y mañana nos vamos a París. Mi parto los cojones en cuanto nos ve. El de seguridad nos echa a los tres. Turco Gringo. By the way, I'm going to Messi's presentation with my two best childhood friends. I started with Andre Cortez commentation. I break my balls. As soon as the security guy sees us, he kicks the three of us out. Was that good? Six out of 10, not terrible, not great either, says Seattle Surf. You're doing a Speedy Gonzalez Mexican accent? No, I'm not, motherfucker. I'm not. Tu español no es terrible. Corson takes advice from Donator.
Oh, wait, don't fall, wait, okay, jump now, turn left, tap, left, okay, wait, okay, jump, careful, foursome, careful, oh, okay, jump now, turn right, Oh, jump. Jump straight up. Okay. Wait. Now wait. Jump right. Oh, you fell. H. Oh. Oh.
That's crazy. It's not predicting, chat. He's saying, like, the timing is good. Misgive
No,
rolled by
you're lying here,
Dave.
okay.
Who's Dave?
Hassle.
Dave Nuts. Got him.
Okay. With my keystone.
Take a knee. Finish that shit.
What is happening?
He's getting blackout drunk.
3. Wait, Matt. How far do you want it to be? Right there. Right here? 3. 2. Dave, you're such a prick. You are such a. I just showered and changed. You are such a asshole. You are such a fucking dick. You're such a jackass, man. I just showered.
I'm sorry, bud. This is a pretty weird thing to watch. LSF is extremely boring. I mean, I don't know. People seem to like it. Dude, Misgive is the LSF king nowadays, dude. Look at people love it. Donkey Leaks Donda album, spoiler warning.
Track 12, I'm going to Walgreens, featuring Little Dre Dre.
What?
This is featuring Little Dre Dre here. Okay. Any Little Dre Dre fans out there? Alright, don't.
Donka on Donka.
Kanye, this is not. Kanye. Let's play the album. I won't play it.
Wow, dude. I thought after Bound 2, he couldn't get better. Turns out he's got Bound 7, dude. That's crazy, dude. And this is disc 1, too. Damn. So nice of Donkey to just leak this for us. He might be going to jail, but kind of interesting that he, worked with the Sicko Mode rapper on the song Sicko Mode. CeeLo Green is definitely an interesting choice.
Kanye. Let's play the app. Let's play Donda now.
What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumble. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity back bumble. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumble. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumble. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass.
Dude, this is pretty revolutionary. Oh my god. This is not an album. This is not an album. This is an experience, my friend. This is a lifestyle.
Track 12.
Best thing I've ever heard my entire life.
Kanye.
Wanted Beast Jump King before any other streamer.
Intellectual in office.
Okay. Oh my God. Here we go. Last time I fell here.
For the clip, PogU.
There's no am. There's no am. Holy shit, we're almost there!
The guy I simped for.
Holy shit!
Surely Blindside Gaming just subscribed.
No way!
Who is this guy?
What the? Oh. Holy shit! I just finished the game. Let's go! What? Oh my god! Okay.
Someone in the chat always like, it's a video. Yeah, no shit, it's a video, dude. He put his hands in the air.
Surely Blindside.
You can see the YouTube overlay too when he moves. Jump King, Babe of Ascension, speedrun 1821-991.
What the? Oh. Holy shit! I just finished the game. Let's go!
I assume these are those his things?
What? Oh my god!
Aren't you trying to start drama by having a base take? Chat goes crazy.
Wait for Santa! Dude, Santa is fake.
No! Look at this chat. Y'all are stupid.
Oh, sorry for spoiler. If you're a kid.
It's fucked up. Real to me, damn it. Hot Chubby swims solo for the first time. Okay, he's all swimming. Name's alt account and pokes chat. Oh my god, dude.
My computer's lagging.
Wait. Sen bensiz mi gidiyorsun?
Boom boom white collar activity social engineering everyday impacting
Mods?
I can whip it in the kitchen because
What
my
the
uncle
fuck?
taught me chemistry. My MSR Bluetooth X6 buying Amiris in New York. I ran into Hey
Come
Booty
back.
and got a dog tooth.
Bro, this dude has got a lot of.
He crashed my shit. He literally crashed my Google Chrome. This guy typed Forsen so much. He crashed my fucking $10,000 computer.
Most sane podge. True. I mean, he writes normal shit in mine. Pepe EFGHI. XQC, don't go live XQCL. If you see this Vivon, XQCL, and then a bunch of Forsen emotes, Frozen, XQCL, PVCL, Forzen, Kek W, has been dies of boredom. Omega lol. And we made him laugh at 11:21 this morning. This kata bruh. What is this creature? This is just a Forsen fan out in the wild, dude. Excuse your opinion on body shaming. What is this?
What is it that if people call me a skinny skeleton, stick, idiot, a small manlet, and nobody blinks an eye. But once you say, oh wow, you're big and fat, oh my god! Ah! I can't believe it, oh my god! Nah, you don't get to do that. You just don't get, no. I don't agree. Fuck you, dude. You're dumb.
Thank you.
He's just mad at the game. Stop skinny shaming. I mean, people do fucking shit on him for being skinny all the time. Just not the same level of, I guess, oppression. You guys know this already. I've talked about fat shaming. I fucking fat shame from time to time. He's the referee. He's the referee, dude. XQ calls fat people whales, cows, etc. all the time. We do get to call him a stick. Yeah, I think he's just saying that, like, he should be able to do that and people should be able to call him a stick. Can't control how skinny you are? Yeah, no shit. Just like people can't control how fucking fat they are, like 90% of the time. What do you mean? What are you talking about, dude? Yes, you can. A lot of skinny motherfuckers in the chat don't know what they're talking about, dude. He was malding because he still has a strike on his channel from calling someone in VR chat a whale. I have an overactive thyroid, homie. Yeah, dude. Losing weight is fucking abysmal. It is incredibly difficult, depending on your circumstances. Just like gaining weight is incredibly difficult, depending on your circumstances. It's silly as fuck. The problem is the way it's slanted towards skinny people. It's slanted towards in the favor of skinny people. So like most of the time, not saying that this doesn't exist, but most of the time, like fat people are marginalized way fucking worse than skinny people are. Just that obesity is closer to death and struggle. Run the Adu himbo? No, I'm gonna run it like I'm gonna run it right now. Actually, I have to go. What is this? I'm sure this won't go anywhere bad.
Just checking in. Look, I've been kind of on the fence about this for a while. That's why I've never spoke on it. But with the amount of people that I know recently that have gotten COVID and with like the numbers rising, I think it's important for me to say, like, I got the vaccine. I think everybody should.
Pog.
I think it's really important, like, that we all do this just as, like, citizens, as Americans.
yeah,
We
he's
have to
right.
look
Yeah,
out for
that's
each other
cool.
and get this shit under control, guys.
Oh,
So, like,
I'm sure this won't
I
go anywhere
suggest to
bad.
all my followers, you guys make
Okay, this is a meme. I did pre-watch this.
set an appointment and get
Wow.
the vaccine first thing. Psych!
No!
Bitch! If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I never had COVID. You ain't sticking me with that motherfucking needle. It's the motherfucking flu. Get over it, okay? If you're sick, stay inside. I'm tired of having, okay? Why are we working around y'all? If y'all, if you're in danger, stay your ass inside. I'm tired of wearing a motherfucking mask. Hey, guys.
I did watch this. I pre-watched this one. Okay. It's actually 6. I do have to go. Folks, I'm going to hit the last ad minute break here. I have to hit that last ad break here, and I have to leave. Holy shit, I did 7 hours without even realizing. I have to leave because it's my mom's birthday, so I'm going to go hang out with her. Okay? They're waiting for me. I love you all. Here's the 3-minute ad break, the last one of the day. And what else was I going to say here? Oh, yeah, here. Tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of fun. I have Austin on the podcast tomorrow. Here in Malding Podcast going to come out tomorrow, folks, or on Thursday, sorry. Very excited for that. Going to be great. And that's it. That's all I got. We have a crazy IRL coming up on Friday, too. Shouts out to Valkyrie for fucking hooking it up fat. Legend. Absolute legend, dude.
Stunning lo-fi.
We got biggest names in Twitch history coming together. We got YouTubers, Twitch streamers, all coming together to paint their freaking nails, dude. I'm gonna clean mine up so that I can get them ready for. Dude, look at this. From cutting the onions, my hand is like purple. Anyway.
Your hairline has grown so much in 30 months, Hasan.
My hairline has grown so much?
Just begun. There he is.
Anyway, excited. Get excited. Tomorrow is another day. And I will see you tomorrow. As always.
There he is again.
Love you all. See you tomorrow. Bye.
The sun is streaming. Reviewing the P.O. box, Uncle Euger's face. Sudden discord agitprop, gray names take on race. Tiny Bernie Sanders, LGBTQ Air Force. The whole left at your fingertips, and Anye out your door. The H3 Crowder debate, the Young Turks online show. 3 full fucking years of this, and plenty more to go. 90-day fiance, talks of champagne bourgeoisie. A Trump rally live reaction, a mass riot in DC. There he is again. Hasan is streaming. Hasan